Peace and blessing. Shabbat shalom to each and every one of you, my family. Shabbat shalom. This is the day. Yes, this is the day. Zeh hayom. This is the day that the Most High has made. And yes, we rejoice in it. We're happy. We're glad. Yes, we don't worry. We be happy. Like the song goes. And you know what? I'm glad to see each and every one of you as you come into the chat room. Today we're going to have, of course, to some this is controversial, but to us it's not, because we follow the Tanakh. And what is it? We're going to be talking about gender roles. Yes, gender roles. As a completion of this family series, we're going to be talking about the gender roles within the Tanakh. Okay, and we're going to be talking about the restoration thereof. So, hey, put your seatbelts on. It's going to be a wonderful ride. Here we go. Be right back.
Malkia Uriel. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down, to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant.
Yes, we are definitely back, and we're glad to be so. You know what? All praises to the Most High for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, this is Shabbat morning coffee. I hope you have your coffee. I got mine. No, it's not a green cup. I say a green cup because my inner child loves what happens when I have anything green. Okay, my inner child just kind of like, I'm like laughing inside as you're watching this. But hey, I don't have a green cup, but I got my coffee. Hope you've got yours. I want you to be relaxed. This is, of course, a two-way conversation. We will open it up for your calls and your comments. And we would love for those of you that are here, those of you that are going to come in, those of you that are going to watch this. If you have not subscribed, we would love for you to subscribe. We would love for you to be a part of this Hebrew community. You're going to find out that we are not like many other Hebrew communities. In fact, I tend to think that we're more so one of a kind. I don't think you will find another Hebrew community like us. No, it's not just because we do not teach hate. No, it's not because we we're not angry like so many other groups and so many other teachers. No, we come to present the word of the Most High, and we do so without tainting it with our individual emotional predilections. We just come as we are, teaching the word of the Most High. And of course, we do so very flat-footedly, very emphatically. In fact, we come with the word of the Most High. Now, as I always stipulate, I always point out, yes, it's very true that not every word that we hear is the word of the Most High. Not everything that you read in the Holy Bible is the word of the Most High, because yes, it has been tainted. Yes, sorry to bust your bubble. Those of you who thought that the Holy Bible just drifted down out of the sky in a perfect condition, this is so wrong. You have a romantic view of the Bible. You do not understand, or perhaps maybe you've forgotten, or maybe you're a little naive, or maybe you're so happy with being saved that you just feel like everything is golden, wonderful, and delicious. But this is a real world in which we live, and because the masses have believed upon the word of the Most High, many have sought to take the word of the Most High and to manipulate it for the control of the masses. It's true that we have a spiritual side. It's true that we are spiritual beings living in a human reality. But yet and still at the same time, it's important for us to understand that we have a spirit, and yes, there should be walls and guards about our spirit. And one way that you put a wall about your spirit is by means of your understanding and your intellect. Yes, you have to have intellect and understanding, for in all of your getting, get what? Well, yeah, you're going to get some wisdom, but you need an understanding. It's the understanding that gives you the ability, it gives you the wherewithal to apply that wisdom, because without wisdom and without the application thereof, all you have is simply knowledge. There's no interpretation thereof, just a bunch of knowledge. No direction, just a bunch of knowledge, and that will do nothing but help you to win trivial contests when you have asked a trivial question. Well, be that as it may, we teach the word of the Most High, and we embrace the word of the Most High, because we understand, as we have placed a guard about our spirit and about our minds, we are not easily deceived by anyone that would say this is the word of the Most High, or that's the Bible, or this is, the scripture. Well, we have good understanding that yes, even as I've stated before, everything that is scripture is not the word of the Most High. I know we were brought up to not even differentiate between the two. We just assumed that the one was the other. Now, I often give you an example that even as you may have, like for instance, last week, may even have today, on Shabbat, some Jehovah's Witnesses came to my door. Now, I was, hey, we were here in Shabbat morning coffee, but man, if I wasn't, I would have gladly opened up that door, because I love to have fun with some Jehovah's Witnesses. And maybe I can show you how to have fun too. But here's the interesting thing. They have the Watchtower, and they feel that their New World Translation is the word of the Most High, even though it is simply scripture. Well, what is the difference? Anything is scripture that you feel in your heart is inspired by the Most High and is therefore authoritative so that you can live your life by it. Basically, that's what it is. If you, and I often say this and I'll say it again, if you feel like the Sports Illustrated, or you feel like that cookbook is inspired, you say, man, I know the Most High wrote these recipes. Well, I mean, if you consider those to be authoritative, and if you consider them to be inspired by the Most High, you've just elevated that cookbook into what is called scripture. Now, is it the word of the Most High? No, it is not. We find that the word of the Most High comes to us by its own conventions. Basically, the word of the Most High lets you know that it's the word of the Most High. Many times in the Tanakh, we find where the word of the Most High says either Yah said, or the Lord, as it is translated in the erroneous King James Version. The Lord said this, or tell them thus says the Lord. Okay. Or and the word of the Lord came unto me saying. These are conventions that basically our people, when we were becoming a nation, this was the convention. This was what was going on. This was the mainstay. This was what was happening. And you know what? The Most High says, I don't change. Therefore, this is what we are to expect. Okay? When we hear and when we receive the word of the Most High. Well, if that be so, then why don't we have those same conventions in some of the modern writings and additions to the Tanakh called the New Testament? Well, it's because there is no word of the Most High in the New Testament except for where it verbatim duplicates what is written in the Tanakh. Those are the only places where you will find scripture in the New Testament. All the other stuff is fluff and garbage. Well, what? How can you say that? Yes, it is fluff and it is garbage, and we are meant to judge it so. Why? Because of scriptures like Isaiah 8:20, which says that concerning the law and the testimony, if they don't come speaking in harmony with this, there is no light in them, because the Most High has given unto us his word, and his word is forever established in heaven, and his word does not change. He does not change. His word did not come with an expiration date. His word does come to pass. It does not tarry. We are yet and still waiting for things to come to pass that are written in the Tanakh. Be that as it may, we find that the word of the Most High is in the Tanakh and not in the Christian New Testament. I know that's a shock for some of you. Some of you may have just turned me off just because I said that. Oh, how dare he? Well, I ask you to do the research for yourself. It is up to you, Mr. and Mrs. Christian, or whoever you may be, according to your own book, Mr. and Mrs. Christian, which reads in 1 Thessalonians 5:21, that you are admonished to prove all things. The onus of proof is on you. You're the one that has to prove that that material that you're reading is the word of the Most High, because it does not match up. It does not line up with the word that is in the Tanakh. Now, I can give you an example. In fact, I will give you an example. We've had this as a Christian challenge, and I have not had a single Christian at all. For those of you that want to pop in the chat room and talk about, oh, JC, listen, you come here first and you solve this riddle. So riddle me this. Why is it that in Galatians 2:21, your so-called Apostle Paul states, he said, you know what, I don't frustrate the grace of God. He said, okay, you know what, I should go there. You are right. Let me show you. We're going to go there, and I want you to just stick with me here. And for those of you, I want you to riddle me this. I don't know why I like saying that, but riddle me this. Riddle me this, doggone it. Looking at the scriptures, notice what it reads here. This is Paul speaking in Galatians 2:21. It says, I do not frustrate the grace of God, for if righteousness come by the law, then Christ is dead in vain. I didn't ask him to say this. He said this of his own accord. He said Christ is dead in vain if there is righteousness that comes by the law. Well, okay, those of you that have been to this channel, you know where I'm going next, okay? I could go other places, but you know where I'm going next. Well, definitely I'm going to Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness. What? And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yah, our Elohim, as he has commanded us. Oh boy, there you go. It will be our righteousness if we do the commandments. There it is, plain and simple. It shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments. Therefore, your commandments that you are keeping is your righteousness. Therefore, there is righteousness that comes by the law. Therefore, Christ is dead in vain. According to the Apostle Paul, yes, Christ is dead in vain. So the cross that they preach and teach, yes, according to the Apostle Paul and according to the Tanakh, the eternal word of the Most High, it's a farce. It's wrong. He is dead in vain. I know how that makes some of you feel. I know. Hey, I even feel a certain way just saying it because I grew up in it, right? And it's astonishing to even hear such a thing. But for those of you that want to come and talk about JC is the way, I need you to stop there first and riddle me this. How was that true? Okay, how was that true that righteousness comes by the law and that Christ is not dead in vain? You say that he is still valid. How is that true? Well, I would need you to go there with me first and foremost before we have any conversation. If you're a Christian, you're going to pop into the chat room. I need you to riddle me this first, okay? Resolve that issue first, because according to your Apostle Paul, Christ is dead in vain, okay? Now, I didn't ask him to say it. He said it of his own accord. But we have to look and see whether the writings of the Apostle Paul or what anyone spoke lines up with the Tanakh, which is the word of the Most High. If you do research, you'll find out that even in your Christian New Testament, wherever it says scripture, for the scripture saith, notice it is talking about what we call the Tanakh, or what Christians call the Old Testament. It never refers to the scriptures as being in and of itself, except for one place, maybe two if you kind of stretch it a little bit. But supposedly, In the writings of 2 Peter, he mentions the words of the Apostle Paul that many people wrestle with them as they do other scriptures. And so by that inference, those who are really reaching and really stretching are basically saying, you know what? He said that it was scripture, so hey, it's got to be scripture. I'm going to take his word for it. Well, we know that this is not the convention that the Most High would have us to embrace. But the Most High lets you know that it's his word. Thus says the Most High. Right? When he descended upon Mount Horeb, they didn't have to take Moses' word for it. They heard the thundering, they saw the fire, and in fact, if you search through the Tanakh, there is not a single Hebrew that denies Horeb or what happened in Horeb or anything, any of the display and the giving of the word of the Most High. There is not a single individual that says that that did not happen among the peoples of the Tanakh. Those who disagreed with Moses, they wanted to stone Moses, but you know what? They never, ever came back and said, you know what? That thing at Horeb never happened. We never saw the fire. We never, saw the Malakim. We never heard the horns. No one said anything like that, but rather it was known and understood to be true. Concerning other things, there were people that were upset with Moshe. His wife Zipporah was upset, and she circumcised their son, threw the bloody rock and threw the bloody foreskin at Moses' feet and said, "You're a bloody husband to me." I mean, there are moments, okay? We could talk about the argument of embarrassment. There are moments of embarrassment where many things happen, but none of them, like I'm describing, ever happened where someone said, no, the Most High didn't give us his word. No, he didn't descend upon the mountain. No, all of that was well known and well established. Okay, so we have the word of the Most High, we have the Tanakh, and even out of those that were upset with Moshe, none of them ever said, you never heard from the Most High, you never heard his voice, and he didn't tell you to teach these things. When they disagreed with Moshe, they said, you know what? We also hear from it, because they knew Moshe, they knew that Moshe was hearing from the Most High. Okay? Again, look at the argument of embarrassment and look at the absence of that argument. You will find factually that yes, the Most High did truly give unto Moshe the word that he spoke on Mount Horeb and that has been given unto us. And yes, you will find that the convention where it says, thus says the Lord, thus speaks Yah, you will not find that anywhere in the Christian New Testament. In fact, you will find a reversal of the things that the Most High has established. Therefore, it is not even to be mentioned. It is not even to be named, except for where it repeats the word of the Most High. Now, even that is tongue-in-cheek. Why do I say? Because what I found in the Christian New Testament is it actually uses the truth to substantiate lies. I'll say it again. It uses truth to substantiate lies. Whenever it speaks the truth, okay, it will speak the truth in order to prop up a lie. I'm going to give you an example of that. Just listen, I know this is my opening introduction, my opening dialogue, but if you give me just a few seconds here, right? Give me just a few seconds. I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you these words, okay? Because I want you to see what I'm talking. I don't want you to think for a second that he doesn't have any scripture to back that up. He doesn't have. I want you to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that what I'm telling you is the truth. Therefore, go with me to this particular passage of scripture. For those of you that are regulars to this channel, you understand exactly where I'm going because I've gone here many times before and in helping you to really get this under your belt, okay? So that every one of you listening to me can also show individuals just as I'm showing you now. Notice what it reads here. Notice what it reads in Luke 24, verse 44, and notice what it reads. Now, he's going to mention things that are true, but it's all to substantiate a lie. And he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you. Now, my question would be, are you gone? Or are you not there anymore? You're saying while you were yet there with them, which implies that you're not there. But anyway, that all things must be fulfilled which were written in the law of Moshe. That's true. And in the prophets, that's also true. And in the Ketuvim of the Psalms, this is also true. But he says concerning me, This is the lie. There is nothing even in the Tanakh about anyone named Yeshua ben Yosef or even Jesus, okay, or Yeshua. That name is not, you will not find that name being attached to the Messiah anywhere in the Tanakh. And this then is a lie. It is meant to deceive you, which is why all of the Tanakh was changed and made the Old Testament, which is why they moved the books around. They did things so that they could set up the New Testament as the sequel to the Tanakh rather than the Tanakh standing on its own. And when you understand that, again, according to Isaiah 8:20, it does not speak in harmony with the word of the Most High. Therefore, it's a lie. It's a lie. And we are bold enough, we're strong enough to stand flat-footedly and say, based upon the word of the Most High that we have seen and received, the New Testament itself is a full, complete lie. Now, many people get upset with this. Why? Because basically the New Testament is about JC. It's about Jesus. Well, okay, first of all, that wasn't his real name, but we can just skip right along. You know who I'm talking about, because he's all in there. So they feel like, oh, you're attacking God. Well, first of all, he is not God, okay? Because the Most High said, number one, I'm not going to share my glory with another. Two, I'm never a man. I'm not a man that I should lie. If he became a man, and by the way, we did catch him in a lie. Yes, I'm talking about JC in the Bible. Yes, we caught him in a lie, okay, as a false prophet. I know many of you are looking with rosy colored eyes in the gospel, and you just fail to see how in the world, how could he say that? Well, first of all, you're assuming, and by the way, I find that that's the truth, that many Christians and believers in the New Testament, they have a lot of assumptions. They have so many assumptions, and it's one assumption built upon another. And what you have when you have one assumption built upon another, well, I'm sorry to say it, but it's true, and I got to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You have nothing more than a fallacy. Even though you may believe it religiously, fervently, you may want to shake and dance and feel so good, but it's a false sense of peace, because really your firm foundation and salvation is nothing more than a house of cards. It does not stand up against truth. It does not stand up against the scriptures. It's just all one assumption right after the other. And because it's one assumption after the other, all you have to do is tap it with truth, and yes, it falls to the ground. One example of that is, I would ask you to find me in the Tanakh where it says that the Most High is going to send his son, and he's going to die and rise again on the third day. Find that in the Tanakh. Also find in the Tanakh where it is a mystery as to who the Messiah is going to be. The Most High has never hid anything about his Messiahs or his anointed ones. He has never hid anything. He's told you their names countless times, and he hides nothing. Also, when did the Most High says, well, you know what, it's going to be a guessing game, and you're going to have to guess who he is. And oh, by the way, I know I said no child sacrifices, but hey, I'm kind of into that now for your salvation, so I want to sacrifice my own son. No, he never said that. Find me where he says that. Find me where he says, you know what, I'm going to kill my own son just for you. When Job 8:20 says, you know what, hey, I'm not going to get rid of a good man. I'm not going to get rid of a good man. But not only that, I'm not going to help sinners. In that one verse, it completely reverses the so-called doctrine or theory of the so-called Apostle Paul. Well, I could continue, as you could tell, but we teach the word of the Most High here. We stand upon his promises. We stand upon the fact that his word is the Tanakh and not the Christian New Testament. And we hold to that because of what he has said, because of what he said first. Gotta make this point. Where we've run into a problem is that many people had read Matthew first, or Mark, or Luke and John first, or they read Acts and the other parts of the Christian New Testament first, and so you're looking then at the Tanakh with tainted eyes. Yes, you're looking at it through Greco-Roman philosophy, who wanted us to think differently, Okay, and this is what we're looking at. I know I've gone here before. Excuse me for those of you that have I know you've heard this before, but here we go once again. First Maccabees 3:44 and 45. I'm just gonna go ahead here and skip right down to verse number 48. Notice what it reads, and basically, our ancestors laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint their likenesses and their images. Okay, so the heathen always wanted to get their hands on our original Tanakh so that they might taint it with their likenesses and their images and their philosophies. And guess what? They succeeded, which is why you have the Christian New Testament. I don't know why we look at things with rosy colored glasses and think, oh, maybe we're thinking this is a Disney adventure, or I don't know, something off of Star Wars. Well, good has triumphed. No, they actually succeeded at getting their paws on the Tanakh, and that's why we have the Christian New Testament. Okay, so with that being the case, I'm simply saying that we stand upon the word of the Most High, and we stand upon his word, and we follow his covenant. And we do so by following his word, which we find in Deuteronomy 4 and 13, that, it's a covenant and it's 10 sayings. Therefore, as we stand upon his word, we decree that we do not have any other Elohim before Yah, before the Most High, the creator of heaven and earth, and we will not make any object, molten, carved, scraped, whatever. We will not even create a fanciful idea of a God and bow down to that idea, okay, or man-made belief. No, we will only serve the Most High, and we refuse to take his name, his presence, his covenant, and his character in vain. We remember to keep Shabbat holy as we do this day, as we do no work during these working daylight hours of Shabbat. We will honor our mothers and our fathers, for we stand upon the shoulders of our ancestors, all praises to the Most High. And we will not shed innocent blood. We will not steal anything that does not belong to us. We will not be a false witness in any matter of adjudication, and we will not covet anything that anyone else has, to seek desperately to covet it and want it. And we know that the Most High has blessings for ourselves, and so in this we walk in the covenant and we walk in his word, and so we're delighted. We also are a people that not only love his word, but guess what? We also pray. And like I said, we're a different group of Hebrews over here. We actually do love to pray, and we love to praise. And you know what? We love to pray in harmony, our hearts being in tune with the Most High. And we do so by, first of all, taking inventory. And we ask the Most High for mercy if we know that we have not demonstrated righteousness, we've fallen short some way, somehow. We ask him for mercy. And of course, for those that are yet walking in offense to us, we also provide them mercy, even as we seek mercy from the Most High. If we have walked accordingly, we've corrected our steps, we've done what the Most High said, and whenever there's any wickedness, we turn from our wicked ways and we do that which is right. We know, according to Ezekiel 18, verses 20 through 22, that we are forgiven. Even without asking for it, we are forgiven. I'll say it again. Even without asking for it, we are forgiven. Yeah, it's worth me saying it even one more time. We are forgiven even without asking for it, because it's our righteousness. Hallelujah. Our righteousness that the Most High is paying attention to. And so it is important. Well, with that being the case, we take inventory and we come before the Most High. Let's do so now. Let's get ready to pray. Take inventory and see if you need to get something straight before the Most High before we speak with him. Let's get ready. Let's look away to the Most High. Barukata, Ya'o Barukata El Elyon Barukata, Melech HaOlam, Barukata B'Kol Haaretz. Blessed are you, Most High. Blessed are you, King of the universe. Blessed are you in the heavens and in the earth. Blessed are you. We honor you. We are your people. Anaknu Ha'am Shelech. Atayada She'anaknu Ha'am Shelabrit Shelech. We are your people, and you know we're the people of your covenant. And we come before you. Anaknu Ba'im Lifnecha. We come before you, Most High. We come before you with joy, with singing, with praises. We thank you. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We give you the praise, and we thank you for this day. We thank you that we are together. Anaknu Yachad. We are together, Most High. We are with you, and you are with us. And we thank you that we are on your side. We follow you. We pledge the allegiance of our heart to you, of our minds, our abilities, our skills. We pledge the allegiance to you, and we honor you and your ways of righteousness and holiness. We honor you, Most High, and we lift you high. And we give your name the praise, the glory, and the honor. We thank you for bringing us together as your community. We are a Hebrew community that walk according to your name, according to your word, walking in your laws, statutes, and commandments. And we thank you that you are with us, and you're even teaching us to be better, to grow, to be more, and how to be a community. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for every member of this community. I thank you for how you are blessing Leonie Croning, blessing her body, blessing her strength, blessing her and rejuvenating her, reviving her. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you for her sharpness of mind and sharpness of sight. And we thank you for the revival of her energy. We thank you, Most High, for her well-being in her body. We thank you so much for what you are doing. And we thank you for how you are you're with Penny Frank, you're with Josh and Penny, and we thank you that your Malakim are about them, and you are encamped with them, and you're watching over Penny, and you're watching over the both of them. We thank you that you set a hedge about them to protect them, and I thank you for every member of this community whose names I cannot name them all. We thank you for George Evans, and for how you're watching over him and keeping him healthy, keeping him strong, and keeping him before you, Most High. I thank you that he is your son. I thank you that you know him by name. And I thank you, Most High, for every member of this community. I cannot name every member, but my Father, I thank you for them. I thank you that you're blessing them. I thank you that you are with them, and that we are solidifying into the community that you desire us to be. And I thank you for the plans and the pursuits and the visions that you've given me as the Mori of this channel. And I thank you that with your strength, they will come to pass. Baruch atah Yahweh, ki hakol she'natan lanu. Thank you, Most High, for everything that you have given unto us. And we thank you, Most High. We honor you. May every word be inspired by you. May it be to your glory for the edification of your people. I thank you, Most High. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. To many, this is a small thing, but to me, this is a great thing to come before your community, Most High, and to teach and to give them your word. We thank you, Most High, in your name and in your name alone. We honor you. Bashem Yah, in your name, Yah. Aman wa Aman. All right, we give praise unto the Most High for all that he's doing for us. And yes, we also give praises unto the Most High. And you know what? I feel like giving him some praise. I just want the Most High to teach me. So we're going to go to Psalm 25 in the Tanakh, and we're going to ask him to teach us. So let's get ready to praise the Most High. thy ways, oh Yah. Teach me, show me thy path, oh Yah. Teach me, lead me into thy truth. Teach me, for you are my Elohim of my salvation, my salvation. On thee do we wait, all day, all day. On thee do I wait, all day, all day. On you we wait, all day, all day. On you we wait, all day, all day.
Ein Elohim Rachoha. V'no hakol v'shmelanu.
Show us your ways, oh Yah. Teach us, show us your paths. Teach us, lead us into your truth. Teach us, oh teach us, for you are our Elohim of our salvation, of our salvation. On you do we wait, all day, all day. On you we wait, all day, all day. On you we wait, all day, all day. On you we wait, all day, all day. Waiting on you, waiting on you, waiting. All right. Yes. We give praises to the Most High, and yes, you know me. I could actually keep praising Him, but you know we have a lesson that we want to get into. We have a lesson, and let me give some shout outs before I forget to, because I have been known to forget to give shout outs, y'all. I really have. But hey, charge to my head, not to my heart. First person to turn the lights on was none other than my brother from another mother. I'm talking about the one who keeps us laughing. I'm talking about Bergen Paris. I love my brother and his family. I appreciate him. Also, the person that turned the coffee pot on was none other than Josh Cooper. Peace and blessings to you, my brother Josh. Glad that you are here as well. And my sister's here, yes, Kanaya Israel. Peace and blessings to you. This is our Minister of Wellness, our Minister of Health, and I am so thankful for her and for her husband. And Christine Croning is with us in the house. Peace and blessings to you, my sister. Also, my sister Terry is here. What's up, Terry? What's going on, Terry? And also, who else do we have here? Well, we also have Brother Adrian, our Minister of Finance and Economics. This is Brother Adrian. It's all good. Yes, peace and blessings to you. And as well, we also have the Moray in the house. This is a brother that I love and respect. I appreciate you, Moray. Hey, we're going to chop it up some more. We are going to chop it up, definitely. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. I'm going to order. I am going to choose, when the sun goes down, I'm going to choose a book to get from you. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on that. Peace and blessings to you, my brother, Michael Charles Marsh. And who else do we have here with us? We have also Miss H is in the house. Peace and blessings to you, my sister. Miss H, glad that you are here. Also, Ben Naphtali is here. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. Glad that you're here. And Michael Charles Marsh. What's up, man? What's going on, Mr. Michael Charles Marsh? Peace and blessings to you. My sister's here. Jacqueline E. Buggs, she's in the house. My brother George Evans is here. Peace and blessings. Who else? I don't want to miss anybody. But I think I did get everyone that's here now. Of course, as always, we've got far more people that are listening to us and seeing us that are in the chat room. Now, listen, if you're listening and you're watching and you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Very few calories will be spent, okay? You're not going to gain any calories. Just go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications so as we update and give you videos, yes, please, you will be the first to know. We are growing this Hebrew community, and we're taking steps to do so. We're making moves right in front of you, and we want you to be a part of what we're doing. So please, by all means, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button. As many people are watching, we should have that many likes already in the bank. So let's go ahead, hit that like button. And yes, do subscribe if you have not subscribed. For our topic, for our main topic today, and I just want to say that, man, I love you all, family. I really do, man. I look at your names in the chat roster, man. I just love you guys. I really do. I love all of you. And I'm thankful unto the Most High for you. Let's do this. Let's continue for our topic, our main topic. We're going to be talking about gender roles in the Tanakh. I know some people are fighting against this because they're fighting for a kind of gender neutrality and kind of a functional androgyny where it doesn't matter what gender you are. Well, we know beyond the shadow of a doubt that that's not the way that the Most High feels about it, according to His Word. So when we get back, yes, we are going to talk about, we're going to talk about gender roles in the Tanakh. Be right back. We discuss, open up scriptures and discuss the realities behind the Hebrew way of life and following the laws. Please call the number below, and if unanswered, please leave a message. Thank you. Shalom. The Hebrew Scholar magazine is now taking pre-orders. The Hebrew Scholar is set to begin September 1st of this year, 2025. Get your pre-orders in now, reserve your spot, and we'll let you know. Each month, this is going to be a new Hebrew Scholar magazine. There's something in it for everyone, not just the scholar, but there's something in it for the entire family. and we know that you are going to enjoy and be edified by what you read. So get your pre-orders now. There will be a link in the chat room for those of you that want to get your pre-orders in. Thank you very much in advance for supporting us here on the channel. All right, so when we get back, we're going to start our main topic. Well, as you know, that it has become quite controversial to even suggest that there are gender roles and there is such a thing as gender. Many people are now taking offense to this. And now we have to honor people's pronouns. Their pronouns become something of importance. And I'll never forget, I was working in a particular job, and they had a meeting because this big, tall, burly fella that had a beard, he stood about 6 feet 2 or 3 inches. He was definitely taller than myself. And big burly guy, he was upset because people weren't calling him by the name of a woman, because he felt that he was a woman. And so, of course, now people are looking at pronouns, and you're considered hip, cool, modern, relevant if you ask a person what their pronouns are. If you notice on even some of the information that we interact with on emails, they'll ask you your pronouns, and whether it be for business or whether it be just in emails, they will ask you for your pronouns, because you may say, well, I'm identifying as this or I'm identifying as that. Never before has we as a society been so crazy. I mean, it is really beyond the imagination as to how we could embrace the idea that basically, despite what we see, well, anything goes. I can identify as a French poodle if I wanted to. And yes, there have been school systems that have actually put in human-sized litter boxes in schools, because the very children that go there are identifying with cats and identifying with other animals. Well, all of this comes to us because of the, man, I tell you, the madness that is around us, and the madness that is being fed us and allowed to thrive even in our midst, where individuals refuse to actually allow things to be as the Most High has made them, which He made us according to His word. In fact, let's go here. The word of the Most High comes to us and lets us know that when He created us, yes, He created us with a certain plan in mind, but He also created us in a certain way, okay? And so when we take a look at it, I'm going to go here into the scriptures, and we're going to begin with Bereshit chapter 1, verse 27. So, Elohim created mankind in His own image, and in the image of Elohim created He him, male and female. Male and female created He them, not male and male, or not generic unit to generic unit, not just individual to individual, but He created them male and female, okay? And this is how He created them. And Elohim blessed them, those who had genders of male and female, He blessed them together, okay? And they are blessed, and together they can do what? Be fruitful and multiply. Well, this is the desire of the Most High. This is the desire, even in order for us to build a kingdom where individuals are operating under the divine auspices of the Most High to do what they were created to do. Okay, which is why a woman has a womb and a man does not, because there is a gender role that the Most High, that he wants to be expressed. This is how we build the kingdom. You can't build a kingdom and have children under normal means when you have two of the same sex together. You can't do it. You need one of them to be opposite in order to have a baby. And so with this, there are gender roles that are defined and that are explicit, and you cannot get around it. This is what the Most High wants. He wants there to be a man, a male part of mankind, and the female part of mankind. Okay? And when they come together, we understand beyond the shadow of a doubt that yes, we can be fruitful and we can multiply. And of course, we can fill the earth and we can subdue it. But guess what? You need both of these energies at play. You need both of these individuals at play. And notice what it reads here. It says in Bereshit 2 and 18, and Yah said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will make an helpmeet for him." Now, please understand that when this word is used, we're talking about the Adam. Okay? We're talking about the Adam here. In other words, it's best read that mankind should not be alone. Basically, we need people around us. But in this particular case, it was individual because Adam needed his female counterpart. So now we see where both of them are brought together. Both of them, basically, the man the woman has been introduced to the man. Okay, we see that in verse number 23. And so this then was a holy union. And I want you to notice here that as Adam, the man, by the way, we don't know Adam's real name. We just know that he's called Adam, right? And we know that the Most High called them Adam in chapter 5 of Bereshit, but this is more so an apellido, or a like a family last name, if you will, but it really is the word mankind. Okay, but we don't know if Adam was actually called, if Adam had a first name and he was called by something else, because we noticed that he called both of them Adam, right? Which we would again understand to be Shem Mishpacha, the name of the family. So looking at this then, notice what it reads. "Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother." There's a role there. There's something to be done. The man is going to be a father. The female is going to be the mother. Okay, because the man can't have the baby. The mother has to have the baby, right? And I've heard that they're even now trying to make it so that men can have babies, which is absolutely ridiculous. Okay? That a man should, basically what they're saying is, we're playing God and we'll do what we want to. Okay, you're going to end up being a mess, but hey, we're going to do what we want to do. We're going to prove to you that we can put a womb inside a man. And listen, I'm sorry, I wouldn't want to have a baby. I'm not trying to take that role from a woman. Okay, I don't need that experience. You can keep that experience. I wouldn't want to have a baby. I've had nightmares where I was pregnant and there was no I've had nightmares where I was pregnant and there was nowhere for the baby to go, and they didn't want to give me a C-section. I mean, hey, I don't want that. I don't want that for me. I do not want to have a baby. I ain't trying to have a baby. I don't want the operation to get away. Hey, I want none of that. You can keep all of that, you know. All praises to the Most High for the woman. Okay? I'm not trying to take that from you. You can keep that crown. No, Lordy. No, Lordy. Something the size of a bowling ball? No, thank you. Notice what it reads here, that yes, there's father, there is mother, and basically he is to cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. So with this, there are gender roles that are expressed in the Tanakh, okay? But we find here that when it comes to societal decay, there are signs and cursors as to when our society is decaying, because there is a breakdown in the normal structure and in the gender roles that are embraced by those that are walking in that society. And so we find here in Isaiah 4:1, "And in that day 7 women will take hold of one man," okay, which is a version of polygamy, where basically you have a male covering And this was not always sexual, okay? Don't think sexual, but they just simply wanted the man to cover them, saying, "We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by your name." Now, this is indicative of a gender role because it is the man that is to provide, okay? It is the man that is to provide, put shelter over her head, her and the family, provide for her clothing, provide for her with food, and the duties of marriage in the midnight hour, if you know what I'm talking about. He has to keep up with all those things, and that's a part of the role that he plays, other than being the house band, which is where you get husband from, where he keeps the house together. He keeps it secure, he keeps it safe, he makes it prosperous, but she also has a hand to play in that prosperity, in that she's not wasteful, which is the Proverbs 31 woman. She's industrious, she's creative, and she watches after the kids and so forth and so on. And she is also involved in business. She's involved in business. She's involved in her own level of commerce, and she has something to do with the family, okay? And together they rule. Together they have dominion in the home. But don't let it be mistaken at all. There are gender roles to be played. The man has his place, the woman has her place, and when they respect each other in their roles, there is peace, there is harmony, and this is the divine will of the Most High. Our women have become like the women of Isaiah 4, where they're saying, "Hey, I will eat my own bread," okay? I don't need him. I don't need no man. I'll buy my own clothes, okay? But I can still be called by his name, but shoot, I'm not going to depend on no man for nothing. Well, listen. I understand that you're taking that posture because of dysfunction in the family. You may have grown up this happens a lot, where our little girls grow up in a home where they see mama strong-arming daddy, and it's like, I ain't gonna depend on him. And so the mother's talking about the husband and her father like a dog, and saying you can't trust men, and then the girl sees the mother hurt and all this bitterness, and so it brings in them this disposition that says, you know what, I'm not gonna depend on a man, I'm gonna get my own, I'm not gonna depend upon him, I can fend for myself, because shoot, what if something happened? Well, okay, I understand. Many of us, we take these postures. I've said it so many times before, I'll say it again. We stand on an issue based upon where we sit in life. We stand on an issue based upon where we sit in life. And if you're in a place of insecurity, you're going to do what you have to in order to feel secure. And for many women, that's, hey, I'm making sure I have my own money, my own job, my own this, my own that. And some of them are like planning for divorce. It's like, I'm putting this money away because when we split, I want to be able to. But yet and still, you're trying to be married, but you're already preparing for divorce. That goes back into what I said before. This goes for the man and the woman. We don't know how to walk in covenant. We've lost the art of walking in covenant that says it's me and you until the end of this world, till the day that we die. We miss that. We're too much into the romanticism. In other words, we love like Rome does. We love like the Romans did. If it's suitable, if it feels good, if it's pleasurable, as long as you're making me happy and whatever my Mickey Mouse version of happiness is in the moment, then I'm fine with that. Oh, I'm good with that. But the moment you stop making me happy, oh, now I got a problem. And oh, I'm not happy. And we lost the art of walking in covenant. Back in the day, grandmama and them walked in covenant. Now, that was an example of walking in covenant. They stayed there no matter what. Now, I'm not saying dog the woman out and cheat on her. I'm not saying dog the man out and cheat on him, because women cheat just like men cheat. Let's just go ahead and say that. A woman can cheat just like a man can cheat. Okay? And thing about it is, it's harder for you to find out that a woman's doing it than a man. A lot of times we're knuckleheads and we'll give ourselves away. Okay? But bottom line of it is, either one can cheat if they want to cheat. Right? But back in the day, they stuck with each other. Listen, my mama, after my dad died, my mom never remarried. I'm talking decades. Okay? My dad died in 1970, and yes, she did not leave here until 2019, but she never remarried. We lack the ability to walk in covenant, okay, and to put all our eggs in one basket and trust. When it comes to the marital relationships, I know we've been hurt before, so-and-so did you wrong, I get it, but over here in the kingdom of Israel, we need to be able to walk differently than what the world does. See, this is the blessing of being a Hebrew, knowing that you're getting someone that's going to walk according to the covenant of the Most High. Listen, that's worth the gas money right there, knowing that you have someone that's going to abide by the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High, which is why it is important for us to do so and to state so and to stand on our square and say, you know what? We walk by the covenant. We walk by the word of the Most High. Women, you ought to feel safe at night in that man's arms, knowing that he walks according to the covenant of the Most High. He's not going to dog you. He's not going to cheat on you. He's not going to look for another woman. He just simply wants you, okay? And vice versa, man. You know that that woman's going to be by your side. She's not looking for nobody else. She's not cheating on the side. Yes, this brings you comfort. It brings stability to the home. It brings a sense of comfort and pride and just, it makes you feel good and solid and secure, like you're a solid, secure family like the Most High wanted you to be in the first place. And you're giving good examples to little Egbert and little Shaniqua. You are giving good examples to your children of what a man is supposed to be like, what a mother is supposed to be like, and how the family is supposed to be run. You are giving them examples. But too many women today are afraid and insecure, so they say, you know what? Hey, I'm going to make my own money. I'm going to eat my own food. Just let me be married to you in name. And this is what we have today, a rendition of it, where women are saying, I just want to be married to you in name, and I will do my own thing because I don't know what's going to happen with you. I'm going to do my own thing, and we fail to walk in covenant, okay? Notice here what we find when it comes to a virtuous woman. I mentioned this before. I'm not even going to read through all this, but she is industrious. Again, it is a part of her role, okay? It is a part of her role to be a woman of virtue, a woman of morals, okay? A holy woman, someone who is industrious, someone who is not lazy. She builds up the home. Again, this is a part of her role. She's able to operate in business, okay? She is able to buy a field, plant, and then bring about money for the family through her own little side gig here. She is good with merchandise, okay? She works hard, she works late, she makes her own clothes. She is no dummy. She is able to, basically she's making moves, my brothers and sisters. She's also making moves, right? Now, the husband here has a role where he is known in the gate. So he's supposed to be a man of wisdom, because at the gate is where judgment took place, and they would bring matters to the elders at the gate. And so her husband has to be a man of wisdom. Again, this is part of the elder roles. He sits among the elders of the land, okay? So he sits among the elders. He himself is also industrious. He's providing for the family. He's providing for the wife. He's making sure that everything is good at home, because this is his role, okay? And so as we continue, notice a virtuous woman, she is a crown to her husband. She is a crown to her husband. So what role does the woman have to play in the household? Okay? Well, she is to be a crown unto her husband because, and now this is actually ministry. Let me say this. There is nothing like, listen, I'm speaking as a man, I'm speaking as a Maori. I've been on this planet for quite a few years, and I'm going to tell you, there is nothing like a man receiving heartfelt respect and adoration from his woman. There is nothing like it. You want him to feel like $1 million, women. You want him to feel like $1 million. Respect him and love him. Okay? Respect him and give him the respect. Give him the honor. And when you do that, oh my goodness. Listen, I'm telling you, it will change his world. Okay? You let a good woman, and I know it's been questioned, as Hebrew women, do we call our husbands Lord like Sarah did? I've entertained that question, and I can tell you this by experience. I had someone to call me Lord once, and oh my goodness, it was like, I mean, the effect of it. It didn't go to my head, but it was wonderful to finally get some respect from a woman, and it was just I mean. Can I even express how good and how empowering and how good it makes a man feel to know that he has that respect from his woman? It's amazing. But see, many women don't want to do that because they feel like, well, I'm not gonna get it back. I'm not gonna get it back. He ain't gonna treat. See, I'm tired of doing all that, and he don't. No. Trust me, believe me when I tell you, if you're giving that man respect and he has a good heart and he loves you, man, he gonna turn that thing around and bless your socks off. Do everything he can, right? It's these other men that feel like they need to make you the gum on the bottom of their shoe that you have to watch out for. But if you have a good man and you know that he loves you and he's in your corner, there is nothing wrong with you celebrating him. Okay. Now those other brothers need some help because they I don't know, somehow they think that their name is Massa. And they got to slap you around and dog you out. Okay. Enough of that. But as we continue here, we find a number of different things that the gender roles in the household has to be defined. Things are too fluid nowadays. Okay. Let me give you an example. Deuteronomy 22:5, the woman shall not wear that which pertains to a man, neither shall the man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination. They're an abomination unto the Most High. Okay? And you've got fellas that are so brainwashed by today's society and what whoever says is okay to do now. I mean, someone in an office somewhere says it's okay to do something, and let's put that on the media, and next thing you know, you've got the masses, the sheeple, following whatever crazy kind of thing it is, whether it be sagging the pants for the youth and some of the old, or it be things like men wearing dresses. They just swallowed hook, line, and sinker. Why? Because they do not have a law that says it is an abomination for a man to wear what belongs to a woman and vice versa. But here, the gender role is very plain. It's very simple. Yes, the gender role is this. That basically you're to keep it separate. Don't dress like each other. Okay? Do not dress like each other. Period and point blank. Well, we understand then that the reason why they have roles is because he made them to do different things. Again, he made them so that together they would have dominion, but they do so, Okay, not as separate entities and not as generic entities, but they do it as the male being the male and the female being the female, and together with the female energy connected with the male energy, they bring about the dynamic that's necessary for them to be able to have dominion over the earth. You need both. You need that, okay? Because notice what it reads here in verse number 28. And Elohim blessed them and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply. But he did that after he created them in his own image. In the image of Elohim created him, male and female. So both of those are needed, and there is no way that you can say, hey, they're just going to be generic and the man can be the woman and the woman can be the man. Now, here is something that I've noticed. I've looked at couples who are of the same sex, and here's why it doesn't make sense to me. And by the way, yeah, of course, you could say all this is just his opinion. This is, well, okay, yeah, you can say that. But this is what I see. Isn't it interesting how when you're looking at a couple, one of them will be the feminine dominant and the other one will be the masculine dominant? It's like, even though they may both be technically of the same gender, one of them is going to assume the posture of the masculine and the another one of the feminine. And it's like, man, this is just such a joke. If this was true homosexuality, then they both would be just the same, and one would not try to be the man and the other one would not try to be the woman. That's just my opinion, because it just doesn't make sense to me. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. If you're saying that there is no gender, then why are you being man-ish, or why is the other individual being feminine? It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. If it's true homosexuality, then I feel like they should just be, whatever, right? You shouldn't have to pretend to be a man or pretend to be a woman. It just doesn't make sense to me, because the moment you pretend to be a woman, to me, my opinion is you're pretending to be a woman. And I know some people don't like what I'm saying. I know. But this is, hey, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, right? He just reading out the Tanakh. That's his opinion. Be it what it is. Hey, that's the way I see it. That's my opinion. But notice what the scriptures say. And I'm standing upon the scriptures. I'm standing upon the word of the Most High. Notice what it reads here. Together they have dominion, and they rule. They have dominion over the fish in the sea. Okay? And again, these are not just generic units, individuals. No, it is a male and it is a female. Why? Because there are gender roles in the Tanakh itself. Well, taking a look here, even again, we could talk about how the man went to sleep and the woman came about. But notice this, regardless of what the gender is, there are certain things that have been laid down in the family where regardless if you're male or female, you're to honor your father and your mother. Again, these are the roles that the genders play, father, mother, right? But both male and female, the sons and the daughters, are to listen to mama and daddy. These are the words that I command thee this day, Deuteronomy 6, verses 6 and 7. These are the words that I command thee this day. They shall be in your heart, and you shall teach them diligently unto your children. And by the way, it is a part of the man's role to teach the children. Okay? Part of the man's role to teach the children. It is not predominantly on the woman. It is the man's role to teach the children and to make sure that they are taught. I know that's slightly different than what we may have understood or grown up with, but this is the way that it is laid out in the Tanakh. It is unto the fathers to teach the children, okay? And that is what is to be so. Now, of course, in Proverbs, we understand that it is a joint project. Okay? The mother also has something to teach the children, and we understand that to be true. This does not mean that the woman can't teach the children. Yes, she's to join in with the children and teach, but at the end of the day, the ultimate responsibility for the children to be taught belongs to the father. I mentioned about the Proverbs woman. Again, I'm not going to reiterate that. But again, she learns these things. She doesn't just get married and know how to do these things. She's brought up doing these things. And so when she gets married, she then understands how to flow. Now, in talking about roles, we got to mention those women who are mighty in Israel, understanding that even though there are roles to be played, there is yet a place for the woman in the national scene, or on the national scene. We look here and we have Deborah, who was a prophetess. She was the wife of Lapidoth, and she judged Israel at that time. She was a judge, okay? And there's also some significance here that we could point to by her being under the palm tree of Deborah. Okay, that's for a discussion at another time. But she was a judge, so there was a place. Now, much unlike the Christian church that says that a woman, you just be quiet. You don't have any right. You don't have any right to say anything in church, let alone try to pass her. Right? Go on somewhere and sit down. Because Apostle Paul said, I suffer not a woman to take authority over a man. Right? And if you will say anything, you ask at home. Well, yeah, that is misogynistic, but hey, it's in your Christian New Testament, so hey, you want the New Testament? Embrace it and shut up. Well, as we continue here, there are roles to be played, and these roles are to be, basically, they're to be embraced with seriousness, with an understanding that yes, there's room for women, there's a room for you to grow. We could also talk about the fact that Miriam was also a prophetess, and she is cited as having danced and sung, and it is even her words that are put in the Tanakh and that have been ratified as to what the Most High wanted. So with that being the case, we can also go forward and talk about others, okay? But by and large, there are gender roles that are meant to be kept. Girls turn into women, and women become mothers, boys grow into men, and men become fathers. This is the way of the kingdom of Israel as laid down in the Tanakh that was written thousands of years ago. One of the reasons why I love the Tanakh is it has within it the ability to restore society to its godly norm, to a divine, to a divine place of being. And so this is why one of the reasons why I love the Tanakh. Okay, so I could go on and on, but bottom line of it is, yes, there are roles to be played. I could mention others. I could mention those who, in this particular case, in this particular scripture, Huldah, the wife of Shallum, she was a notable and prominent woman back in Israel. Okay. And we could also talk about how when a woman conceives, I mean, the women do have a role to play, and there is a difference between the two, okay? I'm not going to go through all the scriptures that I have here. I'm going to leave it right here because I think that if I went on, I'd simply be repeating myself. And so rather than repeating myself, I'm going to make absolutely sure that you get the basic point, and that there are roles that are meant to be embraced in order for us to demonstrate the kingdom of the Most High. We must not do like others have done by embracing things that are not true. We must hold fast to the word of the Most High. And we have to allow ourselves to grow as He desires and to do as He desires. We're not to learn the ways of the heathen, okay? We are not to learn the ways of the heathen, but rather we are to stand firm in the Tanakh. And with that, we'll return so that you can ask your questions. Be right back. And now is the time for you to ask your questions. Yes, the phone line is open and the numbers should be scrolling under me. And now is the time to ask your question. I'm going to tiptoe into the chat room and let's just see what we are asking or what we're commenting in the chat room. So let's go there. Let me take a look-see. And if you have a question for me, please make sure that you, yes, address me, and we'll go from there, right? Okay. All right. I do not see any questions for me. I'm just looking through the comments. All right. I don't see anything. I'm going to have to go ahead and just move on. And so with that being the case, yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So let's move on. We're going to move on to our next segment. Be right back. Hi, I'm Melchi Uriel, and I want to come to your church or to sit down with you, Pastor, and have a build where we discuss, open up scriptures, and discuss the realities behind the Hebrew way of life and following the laws. Please call the number below, and if unanswered, please leave a message. Thank you. Shalom. Okay, I do see that someone has, yes, who is this? The person that goes by Jesus is the way, truth, and the life. I want you to call in. The number is scrolling underneath me. Call in right now. Okay? Call in, please, so that you can witness for Jesus. Call in. Or are you dropping bombs and leaving? Or are you praying right now to see if you should call in? Yeah. Okay. I would love for you to call in. But since, I don't know, maybe I'm going to give you some time to think about it. Nope, that's the wrong phone number. That's the wrong phone number. The new phone number is scrolling underneath, 414-367-7660. Call in. whoever you are going by Jesus is the way, I'm inviting you to call in. You're talking about he's the way. I'm waiting patiently. Well, I tell you what. Oh, it didn't go through. The call didn't go through? All right. Let's do this. I'm going to try to fix this as we start the next segment. How about that? So that we can get phone calls. All right? More Yeshaya. Are you there, my brother? More Yeshaya, are you there? Can you hear me? Shalom, shalom. Okay, it seems like I can hear, but I didn't hear anyone on the other line. I did hear some moving around, but I did not hear anyone's voice. So please call back, Maury, if that was you, and if you, yeah, the call did come through, though. The call did come through. All right, so with that being the case, I really wanted this person who's talking about JC is the way. I really wanted them to hop on. Oh.
Call from.
Okay, Maury, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Maury? All right, give me a second. Let's see if I can fix this. You're saying that you can't hear me. I'm going to try this, and let's see if that works. Can you hear me? Maury, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Test 1, 2, 3.
I hear you on the computer, not on the phone. I don't hear you on the phone.
Interesting. So you hear me in the computer, but not on the phone. Interesting. Okay. Let me try something different. Hold on. Okay, can you hear me now?
Still, I hear you on the computer, not the phone.
Okay. I'm going to have to work this out. I thought that this was all worked out. Let me do one thing here. Okay, can you hear me on the phone now?
I hear you on the phone now, yes.
Okay. Then that's what we need. Okay, well, all right. Well, hey, shalom to you, my brother. How are you?
I'm okay, Shalom. How you doing?
I'm good. So to what do I owe this pleasure, sir?
What I wanted to just say, if I could, not to interrupt anybody else's call, is this. If you notice, the first question that the person asked was, what do you do when you sin? And on the platform that I operate, I just went over that, where one of the first questions they ask is, what do you do when you sin? Because they need you to do the wrong thing in order to fit in. So he is the atonement for those who have already made up their own atonement. But let's quickly deal with that in the Torah matter. You don't commit murder, adultery, disrespecting your parents, and the like, and sit there and bring up any offering. The only sin offerings that are done for error. If you accidentally did something, then you'll bring up an offering, but you still got to sit there and pay, which shows you that we have to be more careful.
Yeah.
See, with the Jesus story, you got to sit there and believe, and then he'll sit there and atone for you, which is foolishness. Because if he was anointed, aka a Messiah, and if he was a prophet, and it said, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm, how could he have been the atonement and still be the light for to get to the kingdom if you're killing him?
Exactly.
This is not intelligent.
Exactly.
So the whole story and the whole concept of it is done based upon you already having sin. This is how you see it.
Okay, you kind of broke up. You broke up with that last statement.
In the portion in Genesis, it says in the beginning in chapter 4, sin touches at the door, and to you desire, and you can rule over it.
Yes.
The New Testament is telling you to forgive those who already sinned. They're not telling you to stop sinning. They just say, all you got to do is sit there and bring up something because you obviously are too weak to get over your lying, your stealing, your disrespect, whatever it may be.
Yes.
And so forth and so on. So it's never a thing like Deuteronomy, go in and dig into your soul and work on your character.
Yes.
It's not like Ezekiel 33, get you a new spirit. The Old Testament talks about character and how to be better. The New Testament, you lay everything down for JC. And this is why this person's comment pastor, the first thing outside of saying JC is the way this and that, the first thing is ask, not even how you doing, not even welcome to the church. It is, what do you do when you sin? Ridiculous. So I just want to point that out, Israel. There is no atonement that you bring for willful sin. All you got to do is just change your ways.
Exactly.
And then you bring that up to the Most High. And like he said, a broken and contrite heart. When you stop, like I also about myself as a thief as a kid, I had to stop that. That took something out of me to sit there and change that. Everybody ain't built for that. So that's what I want to say with that. But that, shalom. Told out for the time, all right.
All right. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. I agree fully. I agree completely. So, bless you, my brother.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Same to you. Shalom.
And you know, the other thing about it is when you really take a look at it, I mean, again, I'm going to point this out because it's right there in the Christian New Testament where if everything is under the blood and JC's doing everything for you and he is your righteousness, then why are you going to be judged for what you did in your body, whether it's good or bad? If it's supposed to be all under the blood, then why are you still being judged for it? It does not make sense at all. And I would ask this person as well, show me in the Tanakh where the Most High said, yes, I'm now open to human sacrifices and I'm open to child sacrifices. And oh, by the way, I'm now going to adopt that as my plan for salvation. No more bulls, no more goats. Let's do human sacrifices. Oh, by the way, it's going to be my son. Show me that. Okay. In Isaiah 50, and I'm sorry, see, I could go on and on and on, but bottom line of it is, this Christianity thing, it doesn't make sense. It's a lie. Okay? Well, I could go on, but hey, we're going to get into, since this person didn't want to call in, and since he's basically running, he's not standing to be a witness or to give an account of what he believes or even to prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. Well, no, he's just dropping his little bomb, his little stink bomb, and then he's going to run off without having to explain himself. Well, hey, be that as it may, we're not even going to go there. And you know what? We're just going to keep it moving. And to save time, we're even going to skip one of our segments. And we're just going to go ahead and keep letting it flow. Be right back. Okay, family, give me 1 second. There's something that I need to do real quick, and then we're going to go right into, we're going to go right into Hebrew money in just a second. Hi, I'm Melky Uriel, and I'm excited to offer you a brand new course at Navi Beit Academy. One of the first courses that we're developing at Navi Beit Academy, and we're welcoming you. It's called the Hebrew Memorization Course, and perhaps you've been reading some Hebrew reference materials, and you note that the paragraphs
are numbered by the Hebrew alphabet, as well as the verses. And you're wondering, well, how do I know which is which? If I want to go to a particular paragraph, how do I do that? You may also be wondering, well, how do I memorize the 10 Commandments? I want to be able to memorize the 10 Commandments and know them frontwards and back and be able to recall them in order and to know which commandment is which. As well as the Hebrew alphabet. I want to know the Hebrew alphabet and their numerical values from 1 to 400. I'm here to tell you that you can do that now. Now there is a course here at Navi Bait Academy where you will memorize the Hebrew alphabet from 1 to 22 and their numerical values from 1 to 400, as well as the 10 Commandments. All anyone will be able to have to do is to just either speak the number or the Hebrew alphabet, and you will be able to recall it. It's as simple as thinking of a number like 19. And 19 in the Hebrew alphabet is Qaf, which its numerical value is 100, and its paleographic Hebrew symbol is that of the horizon. Let's say 3, all right? Just a random number. 3 in the Hebrew alphabet is Gimel, and its paleographic Hebrew symbol is that of the foot, and also its number is 3. But guess what? Since it's 1 through 10, number 3 would represent the third commandment of the 10 Commandments, which is thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Well, how am I able to do that? I'm able to do that because I've been using this system for some time now, and I'm willing to offer to you through this course at Navi Bait Academy. That's right. You can take your time. If it takes you a week, if it takes you a month, if it takes you 2 years, it's up to you to just study at your own pace. The only thing we ask you to do is just to dig in with us. And I'll even let you in on a secret. You can start the course for free. So thank you very much, and we can't wait to see you on the other side.
All right, for this session of Hebrew Money, I want to basically speak with the sister who wants us to give her just a little bit of time, and so she wants to help us with our Hebrew Money. We're going to listen to her and hear what she has to say.
There are a lot of fascinating things that I learned when I got my life insurance license, many of which made me regret not getting a life insurance policy in my 20s. But the most interesting thing that I learned wasn't about life insurance at all. It was actually about banks. First thing that I learned is that banks are only required to have 10% of the funds that are deposited with them available liquid. The rest, they're able to make more money with it. What that means is if you have $10,000 in your savings account, your bank is not required to have that $10,000 to be able to give it to you directly. They're able to take $9,000 of that money and use it to make more money. Of course, we know about credit cards and personal loans and mortgages. My initial thought was, okay, cool. So I guess they're taking their money and they're using it to make loans. Makes sense. But that is actually not where banks are putting most of their money. They're taking your money that you're putting into your savings account, and they are taking that money and parking it in life insurance policies. Now, they're not taking this money and parking it into a regular policy. They're taking this money and putting it into cash value life insurance. So how much money could banks possibly be putting into life insurance? The bank that owns the most cash value life insurance is Bank of America. They have $24 billion parked in cash value life insurance. Yes, my friends, that's billion with a B, okay? Why would the bank take your savings and put them into life insurance? That is the question. Well, life insurance companies, unlike banks, are actually required to keep all their cash on hand. So if they are supposed to pay out $24 billion if somebody dies, they need to have $24 billion in their books liquid to pay that cash out. Essentially, life insurance companies are more regulated and they are required to have all your cash on hand. So they cannot afford to do anything risky with your money because they need to have that money available in case you're to pass away tomorrow. Let me ask you a question. If a bank thinks it's safer for them to put their money in a life insurance policy, where do you think you should be keeping your money? Go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments. Here's how this works. Whenever funds go into a cash value life insurance policy, the funds are split in two ways. Part of the funds go towards paying for life insurance and the other part goes into a cash bucket. Now, there are different types of cash value life insurance policies, but some of these policies, the amount that's in the cash bucket is going to earn interest depending on how well the stock market is doing. Okay, cool. If the money is tied to how well the stock market is doing, then why wouldn't the bank just put their money directly into stocks instead? Why would they put it in a life insurance policy? There are a few reasons why they would rather put it in a life insurance policy versus putting it in the stock market directly. One, we know just basic finance is the best place for your money to grow in the stock market. It's also a risky place because if it's a bad year, your money's going to drop as well. If their money was in the stock market directly, on years where the stock market performs poorly, then they are going to lose money. The beauty about putting your money in a life insurance policy that is tied to the stock market is when the stock market does not perform well, your money never goes below zero. So if your year starts out, you have 30K in your cash bucket, the stock market crashes, your money will still be 30K. You're not going to see a dip in your money. So essentially, the banks get to have a win-win situation where when the stock market is performing well, they make a whole bunch of money off of your money while you get a tiny sliver. And then on years where the market does not perform well, they keep the money. They don't lose anything. Second reason, the more important benefit, in my opinion, to put their money in a policy as opposed to in the market directly is that for tax purposes, life insurance is not treated as an investment. For tax purposes, life insurance is life insurance. So even though they are making money, even though they are getting interest, all of the interest that is gained in that policy is not going to be taxed. But meanwhile, any money that you have in the stock market directly, including money in your 401k, is absolutely going to get taxed by the IRS. Now, in addition to knowing their money is 100% liquid because insurance companies are required to have all the cash on hand, in addition to knowing that they're going to have their money growing as if it's in the stock market, but knowing that it's 100% protected if the stock market crashes, and also knowing that every single cent that is going to grow in this policy is 100% not going to be taxed or touched by the IRS at all. Let's just take a moment to remember that Bank of America has $24 billion in life insurance policies. So just imagine if the stock market goes up by 10%, they get 10% interest on that $24 billion. How much money are they making every single year tax-free because they know about this money hack that we never learned about in school? And the cherry on top is that whoever's body is insured in these life insurance policies, if that person happens to pass away, then they're going to get a large chunk of cash for that person as well. So they get to have a cash payout if this person that is insured passes away. They get to have money growing exponentially faster than if they put it anywhere else. They also get to have money that is 100% safe because insurance companies are required to keep all that cash on hand. And they also can have every single dime of that money 100% tax-free. Whether that cash is cash that is growing in that cash bucket or it is cash that comes after that person passes away, all that money is 100% tax-free. So now that you know about this, what can you do with this information? The beautiful thing is cash value life insurance is not only for banks. Regular people can get this as well. You do have to apply. It does not get given to anybody, but it is something that is very doable, and you can use this account to save up for extra retirement income, to save up to buy real estate, to save up for a business, all kinds of things. You get to decide what you want this account to do for you, but most importantly, you get to cut the middleman, which is the bank, and actually maximize how much your money is earning every single month. Some of you are going to take this information that you just heard and change your financial future drastically, while some of y'all are going to keep complaining, keep scrolling, and in a few years be in the same place that you are today. In this video, I walk you through actual numbers of what this account could do for you. For those of y'all that know what you actually want for your future and you don't want to be like Uncle Jimmy down the street that's complaining and whining and not changing what they're doing about their life, I'll see you in that video. Take care.
Teenagers are building businesses with AI.
So, if you take a look, my brothers and sisters, hey, bottom line of it is, insurance policies are, we thought that insurance policies were just, insurance in case somebody kicks the bucket. Well, as we see, of course, insurance policies. I think we need to consider this when it comes to our Hebrew money. I think we need to be able to put our money in a place that's going to be solid and secure instead of a bank. I really do believe, I hold firm to limiting what we should keep in a bank. Thanks to my brother Adrian, I've had an opportunity this week to look into some XRP and also keep the whole Bitcoin thing going. So, we're looking at making sure that we're kind of like, on solid ground when it comes to this. But definitely, I'm sorry, I'm laughing at my brother who says that no need to save because the rapture's coming. There were people that thought that in 1988, and of course they discovered otherwise. And it happens periodically where people think the rapture's coming, and they end up being surprised. But anyway, oh man, but that brings up another question, my brother. Oh man, you know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna switch things up. Hey, this is the end of this segment. Be right back. I'm gonna throw something else in here that's going to be kind of interesting because of your statement, my brother, talking about the rapture. Be right back. All right, so here's what I want to throw in because my brother Bergen Paris, he mentioned this. I want to throw this in, and let's talk about it because he said the rapture's coming. So we're just going to do this off the cuff. Let's go here. Let's deal with it. Here we go.
But you know what? Actually, let's look at this NASA scientist stuff, man. NASA scientists say he saw 7-foot tall aliens and they're black and they look like African Americans, man. I don't know if any of y'all have seen this yet, man. But let's hop into this one.
Has anyone seen this? I'm pretty sure you have. Supposedly,
Power in the word no.
African American.
That shows black people getting off. So people with dark skin getting off. Not dark, black. Black skin. Really black. Yeah. Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall?
Yes. So, why did she ask that? Were they tall? Like, what? hey, she hit the Adam 22. She said, I'm about to get some content off of this. Boy, were they tall? What? Okay. Let's break that down. All right, so he said no, black skin. So the first thing that comes to her mind, were they tall? Not like were they what do you call it, bipedal? Do they walk on 2 legs? They have 2 arms? Was their head squishy and round? Like whatever, man. Did they look like humanoids? She said, were they?
So many of you may have heard that supposedly there is an object headed towards Earth. Supposedly this is a real story where there's an object headed towards Earth and it's supposed to be a mothership because it's huge, and they said that on this ship are 7-foot aliens that look like African Americans, which some are saying that there was no rapture, but Maybe they're coming to get us to take us home. What do you think about this?
Tall, man. Pay attention to this type of stuff, man.
How tall? Do you know?
Well, you got the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
Well, what?
say 7 feet would be probably considered this.
Huge cigar-shaped ship appeared over the Air Force base. These cigar-shaped ships were over a mile in length. One of them landed on the airport landing strip area. The back of this craft opened up, and several hundred young men with huge, heavy weapons came out of two sides of the ship and...
Wow.
All right, man. I don't understand. Okay, why do they have it at air base, right? And what stopped them from just turning up on everybody?
Formed a protection line around the ship, and the people at that Air Force base, the commander, had a meeting with the individuals that were aboard this ship, and this particular race that landed those ships and that are seen in these huge cigar-shaped ships, they are a black race. They look like African American. They were about 6'4", 6'5", huge weapons. And if you've ever seen a race of people that were conquerors, that had never been conquered, they've got this look about them of arrogance. That is exactly what these extraterrestrials had. And they informed these people at this American Air Force base that not only were they from a militaristic society, but they had control a large portion of the galaxy that we live in.
Wow. Okay. That's very interesting. But what do you think about that? Now, you talk about a rapture. And by the way, originally they were saying, well, they're going to be here by November. And supposedly something's changed because now they're saying that they're going to be a week away. They're about a week away from us. So, yeah. What does that mean? What does that mean? Let's talk about that for a second. Because that's interesting. Is that something that is really gonna happen? Is that something that is really happening? Yeah, that's interesting, right? That's interesting. So, I wonder what else was in that conversation too when they landed, right? There had to have been other things in that conversation, and I know that on that ship they had to have noticed that there are people that look like them down here, and I'm pretty sure that they may have been watching, right? Watching what's going on. So, it's going to be interesting to see what actually happens, right? So my brother mentioned, well, there's no need to save because of the rapture, but hey, some are looking at this as if, yeah, this is going to be our rapture, right? So it's interesting. It's interesting. What do you all have to say about it? Huh? What do you have to say about it? My sister Jacqueline says, actually, I heard they were supposed to be here before September, in August. Well, hey, we got, 2 more weeks in August. We got 2 more weeks in August. If that's the case, at first I heard November, then nope, it's not November. So, let's see what's up. Let's see what happens. Christine Croning says, AI is generating a lot of stuff to entertain the masses, and that is very true. Sometimes you can't tell what is real and what is not. Also, too, with Project Bluebeam, it's like, hey, even if you see it, does that mean that it's real? They have us in a place to where it's like, I mean, you're not going to know if it's really real unless it shakes your hand. Okay. Ben Naphtali says, it ain't true. It's good fun, though, but it ain't true. It ain't true. And talking about good fun, I saw... and then we'll get off this subject, but I saw a little video where, like someone was in their home and they heard this music. It was bumping, right? It was bumping hard. And so they're like, man, because like usually like a car goes by, right? They have And so they went to the window, and lo and behold, it's supposedly these aliens that were bumping their music, right? And like we coming to get y'all, Mori Yeshaya says, I remember when the year 2000 came in, it was a Shabbat. I went to a camp and went home. And I remember Y2K, that was supposed to be something that we needed to deal with. And then 2012, there's always been a reason. It seems like that they want to keep us on our, I don't know, keep us nervous, keep us uncertain, keep us unsure. Okay, I thought I would bring that up since my brother mentioned the rapture. I thought I'd bring that up because, Parliament. Parliament, the mothership. Okay, definitely. Forget Prince's party like it's 1999. I think they're going to be playing Parliament, All right. So let's go into our next subject, fam, because we are. Oh man, I tell you, this is interesting. This is interesting, isn't it? Let me do this since we are kind of running close for time with all of these excursions that's been happening here. A little bit different programming for the day, but hey, we're gonna go ahead and hop right into our next thing, which is. My sister Jacqueline Bug says, I cover my phone, TV, and computer screens at night, and whenever they're not used, I have been having some weird dreams. I need to clean from under my bed. Dust mites might be dancing under there. Some of the elders used to get a bowl of water and put anise in the water and put it under your head where your bed is, and that supposedly that would help you in your dreams. I don't know if that's true or not. I heard that to be the case, but hey, I think I did it once, and I had interesting dreams, but it was nothing crazy. It was nothing crazy. This is so funny. Brother Adrian says, see what JC caused? So, all right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into one of our favorite segments coming up in 3, 2, 1. Do I know about the nations of the Tanakh? Do I know about the nations of the Tanakh? Question number 1. The descendants of Cush mentioned in the Table of Nations are associated with which geographical region in the Tanakh? The descendants of Cush mentioned in the Table of Nations in Genesis 10 are associated with which geographical region in the Tanakh? Is it A, Arabia? Is it B, Ethiopia? Is it C, Greece? Or is it D, none of the above? Brother Adrian is the first to start us out with a B. Michael Charles Marsh, also a B. George Evans with a B. Kanaya Israel, also with a B. It's all good. Brother Adrian with a B. Jacqueline E. Bugs with a B. Miss H with a B. Ben Naphtali with a B. Josh Cooper, B. Terry, B. And Moray with a B. Gilbert St. John with a D. Christine Croning with the B. Gilbert St. John with the B. Yehudith Israel also with a B. And the correct answer is, you know it, it's B, Ethiopia. Reference comes to us from Genesis 10, verses 6 and 7. And the sons of Ham, Cush and Mitzrayim, and Phut and Canaan, and the sons of Cush, Seba and Havilah, and Sabta, and Raamah, and Sabtecha, and the sons of Raamah, Sheba, and Dedan. These are all the sons of Cush, and Ethiopia is the correct answer. Question number 2. Tarshish. Tarshish, often mentioned in the prophets, is generally identified with which ancient location? Is it A, Spain or a Western Mediterranean region? Is it B, Egypt or Mitzrayim? Or is it C, India? Or is it D, none of the above? Question number 2. Josh Cooper is the first to weigh in with an A. Brother Adrian weighs in with the A. Kanaya Israel, A. Michael Charles Marsh, A. Jacqueline E. Buggs, A. Miss H, A. Gilbert St. John, A. Morey Yeshaya, A. Ben Naphtali, A. Christine Croning with the A. And yes, Terry is like, uh-oh, don't know. And Yehudith Yisrael also with an A. What could the correct answer be? Going once, going twice. And the correct answer is A, Spain or Western Mediterranean region. The reference comes to us from Isaiah 23 and 1 and also Ezekiel 27 and 12. The burden of Tyre, howl ye ships of Tarshish, for it is laid waste so that there is no house, no entering in. From the land of Kittim it is revealed to them. Kittim being a part and connected with Tarshish, they of course, it would be known. So yes, that is the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Congratulations to everyone that did get that correct. Question number 3. The descendants of Yavan are linked to which people in the Tanakh? The descendants of Yavan are linked to which people in the Tanakh? Is it A, the Persians? Is it B, the Greeks and the Ionians? Or is it C, the Syrians? Or is it D, for none of the above? Question number 3, Brother Adrian is the first to weigh in with a B. Kanaya Israel also with a B. Josh Cooper with a B. Michael Charles Marsh with a B. Miss H, B. Terry comes up with a B. Ben Naphtali, B. Morey Yeshaya, B. Jacqueline E. Buggs, also a B. And of course, George Evans weighs in with a B. Yehudith Israel weighs in with the B. Christine Croning with the B. And the correct answer is B. The Greeks and the Ionians. Yep, that's who's referred to with Yavan in the Table of Nations. This comes to us from Genesis 10 and 2, also Daniel 8 and 21, which reads, the sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog and Madai and Yavan and Tubal and Meshech and Tiras. They are all the descendants of Yavan. Congratulations to everyone that did get the correct answer. Question number 4. Elam, mentioned frequently in the Tanakh, was located in the territory of which modern-day region? Elam, mentioned frequently in the Tanakh, was located in the territory of which modern-day region? Is it A, Iran? Is it B, Turkey? Is it C, Sudan? Or is it D, for none of the above? Question number 4, George Evans weighs in with an A, Terry with an A, Morey Yeshaya weighs in with an A, and Kanaya Israel says A. I'm gonna guess. Michael Charles Marsh weighs in with a B, Christine Croning with an A, Jack Looney Bugs with an A, Miss H with an A, and Josh Cooper weighs in with a D. Yehudith Israel weighs in with an A. And the correct answer is A. Elam, mentioned frequently in the Tanakh, was located in the territory of which modern-day region? The correct answer is A, for Iran. And of course, the reference comes to us from Genesis 10 and 22 and Isaiah 11:11, as well as Jeremiah 49, verses 34 through 39. The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Aphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. The correct answer is A, for Iran. This has been How Hebrew Are You? All right, we are doing pretty good here. Yes, we are. We're going to hit you with another segment coming right up. Hi, I'm Melchior Uriel, and I want to come to your church or to sit down with you, Pastor, and have a build where we discuss, open up scriptures, and discuss the realities behind the Hebrew way of life and following the laws. Please call the number below, and if unanswered, please leave a message. Thank you. Shalom. Well, the Hebrew Scholar magazine is now getting ready for its first publication. Yes, it's getting ready for its first publication, set for September 1st, and we would love to know if you would like to be a part of what is going on here. The Hebrew Scholar is a magazine for Hebrews, and it's for the whole family. It has scholarly content. It also has content for the family. It has content concerning cooking, concerning every aspect of the Hebrew life, but it certainly will dominate in the areas of scholarship and things that are scholarly and that every man of every household needs to know. Yes, it will have exactly that. Again, there is something there for every member of the family, and it is the link that is posted in the chat room for those of you that would like to pre-order your magazine now. Choose your subscription, and yes, we will be happy to get that digitally delivered to you. Yeah, to get that delivered to you September the 1st or shortly thereafter. So definitely be a part of what the Most High is doing here with the Hebrew Scholar magazine.
Welcome back to another.
Hello, everyone. Well,
Okay, I just put up another link. Sorry about that. Sorry about the mishap, but here we go for the controversial corner.
Welcome back to another one, y'all. It's Priest Sakai, aka Deacon Genesis Big G's not the.
Okay, so in this controversial corner, let me just say this before we get into the heart of this. There are many people who feel as if whenever we bring up anything that relates to consciousness or color, that basically we are being racist. It's like, oh, you're being racist because you're mentioning color. You're being racist because you're talking about, the angels being of a certain color. Here is my stance on that. Okay, number one, I only want the truth. Okay, for years I was a little black boy having to look at pictures of angels that were not of my ethnicity, but yet I'm supposed to feel empowered by that. And with everything that was happening, it was difficult to near impossible to feel empowered, even spiritually, when you're dealing with something like that and understand the inner dynamics of it. Also, when you take a look at it and understand that basically they're trying to eliminate us. I'm talking about genocide. Why? Because they say that we have done nothing, we have no significance, we never did anything in history, we never did anything meaningful, we don't contribute to society. So we're nothing more than just, good to be gotten rid of. We're nothing more than target practice. And we have no value, we have no worth. Just treat us any kind of way, just do any kind of thing. And this happens because we have not talked about our contributions, neither have we connected with the narrative spiritually. We have not connected with our spiritual narrative when it comes to the book. Listen, when it comes to the Tanakh, we as a people are mentioned and seen within the context and corpus of the Tanakh. We are there. But for us to be excluded and to be eliminated, it sets up the opportunity to be demonized as a people and then to be eradicated through genocide. And this is the plan. This is what is at work. This is what is happening. Okay? And then you get false and hybrid religions that talk about, well, people are cursed black. You're cursed if you're black. No one wants to say anything about that. Well, yeah, that's what some people understand, and they just kind of sweep it under the rug. But no one is there to set the record straight. I'm simply saying, tell the truth, tell the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. If you want to talk about inventions, we can talk about inventions. We can talk about the fact that we created the toothbrush, the stoplight. Listen, it goes on and on and on. What we created, but no one talks about this. No one majors on this. Meanwhile, we're demonized, and it said that we didn't do anything. We're useless eaters. We are people who basically don't matter, right? You can treat us any kind of way, take any blessing that we have, aka the very continent of Africa, take anything that we have, and it means absolutely nothing. Well, this comes because of a narrative that says that we're not in the book, we are invalid, we haven't done anything, and so in order to stop us from being basically unalived as a people, we need to stand up and speak our value. Will that work? I know that many of them know our value already. But here's the thing. If we join together as a people, knowing our value, then we'll be able to stand together. We'll be able to stand in unity. So, hey, when you look at it, this is controversial to some, but it is a needful discussion. And in this, it's being discussed about the nationality of the Yahudi, as is written in the Tanakh.
Rabbi admits Jews started black. Welcome back to another one, y'all. It's Priest Sakai, aka Deacon Genesis Big G's, not the little ones, here to feed the little ones. G's in the chat, you already know what time it is. Big G's, capital G. Yeah, y'all, Rabbi admits that Jews started black. And when I say black, I don't mean like black like my hat or my shirt, but as me, they would identify me as black, so-called Negroid features, brown. And so he admits this is actually in their highest authoritative literature known as the Talmud, okay? It was comprised from about 200 to 300 AD, but they're quoting from earlier sources from some of their history in here. We're not dealing with the doctrine or the teachings. I'm talking about the historicity. They quote some of the first century rabbis, the original Israelites here. And so let's take a look, y'all. This should be good. All praises. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Unless you have a story, you don't have a way to persuade people.
All right, we're going to not talk about your story. We're just going to go ahead and skip that and go right into our video.
First Mishnah in the second chapter of Masechet Negaim. This is the, I don't know how to say.
Did he say Negaim? No, it's called Negaim. It sounds like it though, but it's dealing with leprosy. A lot of Christians lie and say leprosy is like scabby. No, leprosy means when your skin turns white. He confirms it. The Mishnah confirms it. More importantly, the Bible confirms it in Numbers 12 and 10 that Miriam became leprous as white as snow. So the question is, why would God put a leprous disease on his chosen people? Let's keep going. Now watch what he says though. He says this Mishnah actually cancels him because he is Ashkenazim and he's very uncomfortable with this. Let's take a look.
Now, in the second chapter of Masechet Negaim. This is the, I don't know how to say this. This is the Mishnah in which either I get canceled or the Mishnah get canceled because it's really, really not politically correct. And the Mishnah wants to follow.
Oh no, you're gonna get canceled here because it says there's not one in the first century. It's gonna say there wasn't one Caucasian or white Israelite. So that's why he says it cancels him. Or he's got to say it's wrong. Wow.
When we talk about nega is talking about skin color. Skin color in the time in which I'm recording this. Maybe you're watching this 100 years from now. You have no idea what I'm talking about. That'd be cool. Anyway, so skin color is a very, very sensitive topic. But negaim, Sarah, is all about skin color. Let's go back to our color chart. So we learned there's 4 colors. Remember, these blues are irrelevant. This color is white as snow. The sid ha'hechal, which is the plaster of the hechal, white. Okay. Then you have semer lavan. Let's go this one. Semer lavan. I'm sorry, white. Then sheep white. Then sid ha'hechal. Then krum beitza. Then the membrane of an egg. So those are the 4 whites. But the Mishnah knows there's a problem because it really is subjective. All viewing, all coloring, any colorist will tell you this. There are people who do this in photography and graphic arts and all the kinds of things. Everything's relative. Meaning you see color based upon the background in which it appears. So some colors will seem much brighter, some colors will seem not so bright, depending on the context in which you see it. That's the context that our Mishnah is going to talk about. Is white the same for any different kind of person or not? Says the Mishnah, Baheret Azah, okay, a strong Baheret, okay, meaning the strongest Baheret, like we said, that's kesheleg, that's of snow, Nir'et beGermani keha. If you go to a German, a Germani, i.e. a white person, he looks keha. Meaning, really interesting to note what Chazal, like if you think, what did Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Yehuda look like? They were Mediterranean. We'll see exactly what they look like. So what would they think of us Ashkenazim today? How would they, us, me?
He's saying, how would the ancient Jews look at him? I'll tell you. Man.
Ashkenaz is a descendant of Yaman.
You liar!
Okay, let's go.
What would they look at? Your skin. They would look at you. Look like I'm a German, Polish, whatever. You're Germany, but but even the whitest blemish, meaning I'm whitey white, so my white on a
So he's identifying as white, at least in color. But this Mishnah says there was no white Israelites during this time. So we want to know, how the hell did the dominant gene, which is the brown, darker gene, become the least dominant and then the recessive gene, the white phenotype, become the dominant? When did they just at some point turn from predominantly of color to predominantly Caucasian? There's no evidence of that.
Like, so even their white as snow, what they considered white as snow, it wasn't white as snow. It was like on a Germany, it would look dark. V'hakeha bakushi azah. And the darkest blemish that they know, the keha, let's go back to the blemishes. The darkest blemish on in their situation is krum beitzah. But if you would take an Ethiopian, a Kushi, someone who is dark skinned, it looks like it's like so bright. So it says, it's a really interesting question. What is the meaning of this? We're just going to learn how the Bartanura explains, but the Kati says something different. So the Kati says, therefore, on a Germani, Baheret Azak Shalini Eit Bokeha looks dark on him. Okay, why? Because he's Lavnunit Yete Rashib Saroi, so he's a whitey white. Upotrinoto. And therefore, he basically can't get Tzaraat, because the Tzaraat and him doesn't look white. Mm-hmm. But the other way around says about.
So basically, what they're saying is a white person cannot get leprosy because they're already white.
Right, so he's saying on the leprosy, let's look at it in the English. So this is Nigaim 2:1. It says the bright spot on a German appears dull white. So when Caucasian gets leprosy, it just looks dull white on their, a dull white patch on their skin, like vitiligo. Imagine vitiligo on a Caucasian person. It says, and the dull white spot on the Ethiopian appears bright white. So on a, black crispy,
Shut your black mouth.
Bernie Mac, for example, leprosy is going to look like a bright white spot, right? So that's what it says in the, in the English. Let's keep going.
So even if he has something that looks that on another person would look dark, on him it looks white. That's a hezger. So says the Tanakh, according to the Bartanura, says the Tanakh, it's subjective. It's totally subjective. Depends on how it looks on you. And therefore, if you maybe there's no tzaraat for us Ashkenazi. What could you do? For me, Ashkenazi. Rabbi Yishmael Omer said, Rabbi Yishmael, Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel, Ani kaparatan. I should be their kapara. I should be their atonement. Really, I love that how he says Ani kaparatan. Mitoch chibatan, because he loved them. Aya Omer Ani kaparatam. He was kaparatam. I should be their kapara. Klomar, meaning kol onesh ro'i lavo aleim. Ani mekaber lo alatzmi kedei lechaper aleim. Any punishment they should get, I take on myself. Okay, so what does he say about the Bnei Yisrael? Ani kaparatan. And that's he would talk about Jewish people.
So he's quoting Rabbi Ishmael, how Rabbi Ishmael says, the children of Israel, may I be an atonement for them, right? So that's what he's quoting from right here. Who's Rabbi Ishmael? Also known as, Rabbi Ishmael ben Elisha Nachmani. His birth date would have been about 90 AD, all right? Now he's quoting what he said. Remember, the Mishnah is compiled from 200 to 500 AD, but they still quote earlier sources, primary sources as well. So let's keep going.
I just like that. It's a beautiful phrase. Here
goes the bomb.
They're like the box tree. Lo shcharim v'lo levanim. They're not black. They're not white. Ela beinonim. Black because it says literally the word here, black. Lowercase b. V'lo levanor. White. Ela beinonim. In the middle. They're like the box tree. So you look at the eshkeroa, box tree or ebony tree, okay, and you get a jasper bonus. The guy
box tree or ebony tree. We know what ebony wood looks like, right?
2-1, like the eshkera, neither black nor white, but of intermediate colors. I looked it up. This is what they look like. This is the bark of the box tree. Not exactly sure what color. It's impossible to know exactly what he meant, but
of course, the wood of the box tree is going to look brighter than the bark, right? We all understand that.
That's what Rabbi Ishmael said. They're Beinoniim.
So he's saying that in the first century, during his time, there wasn't a white Jew in the sense of German, Caucasian. That's the context. And then he says Ethiopian. Because when he says, let's go back here. He says German and Ethiopian. So he's talking about what leprosy looks like on a white person or a Caucasian person or a Hamite person. So he's saying the Israelites are not Caucasian or Hamite. They're intermediate shades of brown, like from light brown to dark brown, like me. I would be boxwood. Now, boxwood, I looked up, look at what I asked AI. This is funny. I asked AI, what celebrities today would be the same color as boxwood? And it said, look at this. It says, my fault, y'all. Zoe Saldana and Bruno Mars.
Zoe Saldana, you know who she is? She's the star of
I said, what famous
Avatar.
people from today would be like boxwood, right? That's what I asked. So he says Zoe and Bruno, which is not bad, you know. They're kind of brown skin, if you will.
Why are you not investing in tax liens?
Now, also, let me ask you this, or let me mention this by way. Also, in the Perki, hold on here. In the Perki de Rabbi Eliezer, it mentions that the Most High blessed Shem to be black. Okay? Blessed him to be black. Okay? And also blessed Ham to be black. So this is, once again, this is in their Talmud. But let's continue.
But they know that, you know, especially the Ashkenazim are not like boxwood. Now, were they only this color? No.
That's Zoe Saldana, okay? Which, is she a full-blooded African descent? I think she's mixed. But Zoe's, I'm sorry, I pronounced her name wrong. Zoe Saldana, not Saldano. But hey, long story short, hey, that's what she looks like.
They weren't only this color, because we see that in Acts 13, which we'll get, they were called nigger or Negro. Phineas is called Negro. So again, none of us are actually the color black, but different shades of light brown to dark brown. It would be what the Israelites looked like in the first century, according to Rabbi Ishmael, who would be a primary source and eyewitness to his own time period. And this rabbi is saying that this Mishnah cancels all of, you know, the sect of, you know, Jewish people that he says he's a part of. Let's keep going.
Meaning, I guess he would say, of Kasav Rabbi Ishmael, he says it's not subjective, it's objective based on what I consider to be Jew. Okay, and he says so you have an objective. We have an objective colors, and the objective colors are based on Bnei Yisrael Anika Paratan, what I consider to be Jewish, which is like what I know. Like, what would he do if he met somebody like me? What would he do today? I don't know. We'll have to ask him.
He would cancel you, man.
I think you do know.
But also, too, you guys got to understand, he put up the boxwood tree, right? Now, this is a boxwood tree. This doesn't mean that he's talking about this color necessarily. Because after you get the bark from the tree, you refine it. You might age it, you might oil it up. So he could have said the box tree. He didn't. He said boxwood. So when you take box tree bark and then you create the boxwood, you oil it, you refine it, you age it, it even becomes darker. Let me prove that. Look at boxwood figures, right? Boxwood figures. Look at this. Especially this one. Look at that one. That one is dark as heck. That is super dark.
Which is why he also said mahogany wood, okay? He also mentioned mahogany. For the reason, I believe that the box tree wood that is referred to in the Talmud is what we see above in the main figure above.
Okay, so let's go back here. And so we talked about Phineas.
Which let me back up just a second, because if you take a look, I'm going to hold up a jasper stone. Okay? I'm holding up a jasper stone, and notice how close the jasper stone is to the figure. Okay? There are some different colors in there, but notice how the jasper is pretty much in the neighborhood of the boxwood / ebony. Okay, notice that. So, and by the way, this is the color that the Tanakh says that the Malachim and the Most High is. Okay, again, if you want to have that conversation, and I think it's a needful conversation, because again, they're trying to unalive us by saying that we're not worth anything, and I really feel that we need to speak our worth. Otherwise, we're going to just allow people to just classify us as no worth and then do with us as they want. And of course, we can't have that, because they want to kill us.
So we talked about Phineas. This is an Egyptian name, and it means the Negro. Now again, Negro means black, but we know there's not a human being that is black. So this was a man that was dark brown. And let's get Phineas right. The grandson of High Priest Aaron, Moses' brother, and you'll see right here it says it's a proper name, masculine, Egyptian Pen Nahasi, the Negro. Some lexicons say the brass one or the dark one, but most say the Negro.
And keep in mind that even when you read in the King James Version, when it talks about brass, it really is talking about bronze, because bronze did not come until the addition of tin. The addition of tin with copper, which came at a much later date. I want to say I'm trying to remember the date that it came about. I'm thinking, I forget the exact date, but anyway, it came much later. Bronze is what was used. Of course, we have the Bronze Age, right? Well, we know that bronze, being like a weathered penny, yeah, that is what is in the Bible instead of brass. Brass came much later.
Acts 13:1, you have Niger. This is not Niger. Again, for the 1,000th time, the country Niger didn't exist until 1,500 years after this text. After this time period. This word you can literally see in the Greek. You can see it in the Greek. You can see it. Let's pull it up.
And by the way, while we're on this subject, I mean, think about it for a second. In order for someone to classify as, okay, in other words, think of someone that didn't see this race of people, and they look at them and they come away calling them negro or black. How dark do you have to be before someone can call you black? Now, it's true that we're not, what I'm wearing, my shirt is black, what I'm wearing on my head is black. You see that I'm not black, but there are some people that are very highly melanated and may want to give the impression to the naked eye as, oh man, they are black. And, we've seen blue black people, but bottom line of it is, how dark must the original people have been in order to get the name negro? Because there is also the name moreno in the same language. So why isn't that used? Well, I believe that they were dark, and they were dark to the point of actually being called negros, okay? Anyway, that's just my spin on it.
Simon was a Hebrew. Simon is a Hebrew name. The disciples during this time were Israelites who were leaders at the churches, especially in Antioch. You see it says of Latin origin. Of Latin origin. And what does it mean? Literally means black. Get the usage right here. There you go. Boom. So it's not Niger. Let's get the proper pronunciation of it.
Strong's G 3526. Niger.
So it did start off as Niger, but through semantic shifts and word transformations, there was a G added. You see, the origin of the word lies with the Latin adjective Niger, meaning black. And then it also...
Okay, I think that we've exhausted this subject for right now, but bottom line of it is we are in the book. Walk away with that and understand that we are in the book and we are significant, okay? We bear the likeness and the image of the Most High as the original man. So let us not shy away from who we are. Own who we are in the book. We do have a biblical heritage. We do have a heritage, a rich heritage when it comes to history and society. Again, don't let anyone disown you. Don't let anyone make you feel as if you've never done anything. Please. Maria Yeshaya, that is funny. That is funny. Did a heart stand on the R? Yeah, that's funny. But we're going to go into our last segment. Be right back. It's time for Moshe in your kitchen. What, y'all want me to make some biscuits? It's now time for Moshe in your kitchen.
Shawnee's house is a soul food sanctuary. I am historically the only restaurant on Staten Island to ever receive 2 stars in the New York Times, and then we put on the top 100 best restaurants, and it was done with 6 tables, 32 seats. We sell out of food every single weekend. Soul food is a passage. It also is tied to what we are as African Americans. We're preparing these dishes that are not new to us, but we elevate them and make those things really beautiful. Hello, I am Shawnee, and you are at Shawnee's house right here in Stapleton, Staten Island. I need you guys to get in here so we can get it together because it's going to be
You know that place, Bergen, Staten Island?
This is my house. It is a very intimate space. I will say we got a living room. I started this whole project in my real house. So when I got into the business of actually owning a brick and mortar, it was like, don't stress it. Just open up exactly what you had at home. So it is a packed and very busy night tonight. I got a lot going on. All right, let's go get the vibes. Let's get cooking.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that...
I think commercials are so rude. They don't care what you're looking at. They just like, hey, let me get into your wallet and get some money for this thing. And they won't even let me skip it. There you go. Hey, now you're talking.
This is my station. It's a very small and tight station, but just like at home, when you're at home and you're in your kitchen with your family, you find your spot and you kind of like get comfortable. I work with my husband, who is so wonderful for doing so much fabulous stuff for me. He preps a lot of what it is that I get done, like cutting my collard greens. He trims the fat on my oxtails. This goes in.
See, that's love.
I started
trimming the fat on the oxtails. That's love right there.
Years ago. So what I decided to do was put a twist on a cultural dish dish, I've seen people do recipes where they've thrown ice chips into
Yeah,
their
I need to do
oxtails
that,
to
Moray.
create
Use an
whatever
ad
is
blocker. I
between the
should.
moisture. I think that if you do it
Okay,
first
fine. I think
and
I'll get it.
then you season it properly, it's going to have the moisture because it has the ice already embedded in the oxtail. And then I put some bouillon in there because that gives it a nice little seasoning. It's going to make it even more just, I don't know, what's the word you want? Delectable, delicious, off the hook, crazy, out of control. Like, that's just what it is. A little bit of brown sugar. And then I have a secret blend and it'll have hidden spices in there that people keep trying to figure out and I never give them. Soul Food has adopted oxtail and they do cook it in the South, but this one is sort of like the twist on the Caribbean and on the Southern style oxtail.
Okay.
I also like to put, this is ashwagandha, and so I stick these things in here. Sour.
I didn't know that you could put ashwagandha on food. I mean, that's interesting.
Top leaves. They do all those good things for you. Just like your mom used to throw mushrooms in your spaghetti, that's what that is for me. Soul food for me is the experience. I believe that when I'm cooking soul food, I become the servant of unconditional love. It's not necessarily all about the food. It's about us making sure that we're serving people. All food is not the food that's best for us, that makes us feel good or reminds us of things that our families used to do or go through or experience. And I believe that soul food does that. This is browning sauce. It's burnt sugar and it allows for the oxtail to have its color. My grandmother was a dietitian for over 40 years, and I know that my grandmother taught me a lot of different recipes when I was growing up. And it wasn't necessarily about the recipes in the food, it was about the technique and making sure that I could feed a lot of people at one time. Because she believed that if somebody walked in the door, they needed to be able to be fed. So this is a little bit of barbecue sauce. So I saw that Caribbeans, right, they were like putting ketchup in there, and I'm like, so not a fan of ketchup. Like, get the ketchup away from me. The barbecue
I'm gonna have to
sauce
try the
has a
ashwagandha.
little bit of sugar in it. This is a little bit of starch.
Make you feel fine,
and that's to
Mom.
thicken it over time and it doesn't singe or burn. Putting this starch in here while it's cooking and me not having to disturb it made the recipe better. And I'm adding water into here right now because this is going to create the gravy and the broth for the oxtail. Literally, when I put this top on here and I go put this in the oven, you can forget about it. Stop talking to me about oxtail because it's not coming out for 4 hours. This is bye-bye. I told you, don't ask me about this, right? Like, we can't ask about this because when those doors open up, the oxtail orders go crazy. If you come here after 8 o'clock, just order something fried. That's all I can tell you. Oxtails are gone. We go through probably roughly about 30 pounds a day of oxtail. So we want to make sure that we get these oxtails in. I'm going to pretend to be super strong. It's very heavy. For now, 4 hours.
4 hours for oxtails.
At exactly 4 hours. It has to come out at exactly 4 hours. A minute over and those oxtails
See, I'd have to use my pressure cooker because I can't wait that long.
are like meat gravy, and you might as well just throw them on French fries. So mac and cheese is definitely a soul food staple. The elbows have already been cooked for 10 minutes, and then I start to combine my products in here to make it fabulous. I'm adding in a little bit of milk here. The macaroni and cheese I started doing when I had my kids and had my family and family gatherings. They were asking me to do it, and I would try all these different cheeses. Every time that I tried it, I never liked it when it came out too sharp. I liked it more on the milder side. What I noticed with customers is they do too. People don't want the cheese to punch them in the face. They want the slight taste of like a cheddar, but they want things to be very like smooth and easy to take down. You gotta do what you like. So I got American, a mixed.
Yeah, I made the mistake of putting too much sharp cheddar cheese and macaroni and cheese when I made it. And yeah, I mean, I ate it, but it wasn't as good as before. But hey, I still like gravy on my macaroni and cheese, though. That's good.
Of cheddar, mild cheddar, and I add a little bit of Monterey. I don't really think that macaroni and cheese is so much about the cheese. I think it's one, the way that you take care of it, and it's how you season it. I just think it should be just salt and pepper. So my grandmother was like, if you can't cook with salt and pepper and it don't taste good, get out the kitchen. And I'm like, cool, I got you. But we don't use no salt with the cute little girl holding the umbrella trying to trap us. We mess around with pink salt. And it's pink, it's cute, and I'm a girl. And then we're gonna add the heavier black pepper. I melt the cheese down just a little bit so that I can put it into the pans and layer it with more cheese and then put it in the oven so that it bakes. I do pretty much all the cooking, and I managed to do it because I've been doing it for a very long time. My husband, we have
Terry, I'm surprised. You tried gravy on your macaroni and cheese and you didn't like it. Wow. Okay. I get it.
Learned how to work together and figure these things out. He fills in every single blank and every single gap that I have going on in this kitchen to make sure that things are running as smoothly as possible. Hey, babe. Honey, husband, can you get the pants for me for the macaroni and cheese? I love putting him on the spot. This is the beauty of marriage. Thanks, babe. You're the best. And we're gonna just layer it. Don't overdo it. We're good. Put in the cheese.
No, you know what, Yahudi, I also saw that too, where they were talking about the pink Himalayan salt comes from the petrified bodies of the Nephilim. Okay, so I saw some of the same clips. I saw some of the same video footage in the documentary, and here's my thing on that. And I mean, we don't have to talk about this, but just here's my thing. If you notice, when they were showing you these things, you never saw any bones. You didn't see where the bones were. Okay, so I do have some questions about that, whether or not that's really so. You would see something look like bone, with it all being petrified, and I never saw, right? I never saw that. So I'm kind of holding that open. I mean, yeah, I think about it too. Every time I use, the Mediterranean sea salt, but I haven't seen the likeness of bones in the so-called petrified bodies of the Nephilim. I just have not. So the jury is still out on that for me.
On top creates like a little blanket for it. We're gonna slip these in the oven. 20 minutes to cook. You want to make sure that this melts down and gets nice and crispy and golden, and then it's ready to go on your plate. So it's about noon. It's time to get this fried chicken. Let's go. This is such a soul food staple right here.
Okay, all right, Yehudith, I'm gonna take a look for that, because that was my thing that was kind of hanging me up a little bit. I didn't see any bone, but I'm gonna look for it now. And if you got a clip you can send me, I'd appreciate it.
I personally love fried chicken. It's probably my vice. I don't know, because my dad is a fried chicken fanatic. He loves fried chicken, and we only eat the flats. My family is flat brat only. Then every single recipe that every single person in my family has ever done or worked on has been something that gets worked on moving all the way up into our 8th generation. And so I believe that I've improved my grandmother's version of certain recipes. One of my secret sort of things that I teach people when they don't know how to fry chicken is to do this. This is chicken broth, right? So I just added a little bit of bouillon. So I have...
Yahudith, I just put my email address, the Morey@remnantnation.live. I just put my email address in the chat room. You can use that to communicate.
What my husband calls magic. This is just a seasoning blend that I make here. It's a secret. I'll keep some things for myself. So I like to season my chicken first. And you want to kind of mix it in and get it all good. I like to make the smaller batches. You want to make sure that you don't crowd it. So now there's another layer of seasoning. What I do is I dip them in here. Or what you can do, if you don't really want to mess with it and you don't want to be crazy about it, you just pour some in there. So we come over.
Okay, so she didn't say what is that water? Usually they do like buttermilk and flour. I didn't catch what she was dipping that in before the flour.
Here to my flour. My dredge has seasoning in it. This is all purpose, AP, regular old grandma flour. I like the flat because it's just like, it looks sexy, it's cute. It's like, it's like just a flat little piece of chicken, and just bite the meat off, and it's got 2 little bones in there. It's like fabulous. So I want to make sure that I check my cooking oil. So you see it fizzling right there. That means that it's ready to go. And I'm putting just about 10 wings on each side. One of my cooking rules, chicken is very chatty, and it will talk to you when it first goes into the cooking oil.
We're going to let you slide, but your grease should not look like coffee. That might need to be changed. I'm just saying.
When chicken is done, it just shuts up. The grease, the cooking oil, is quiet. By the time that happens, That chicken is so crispy and golden and beautiful, and it was like, you know, when a girl put a dress
I still would eat it. I ain't lying. I bite that chicken.
on and she go like this. She knows she ready. That's how that chicken be doing it. It be knowing it's ready. So we do a double fry technique, and we do fry the chicken ahead of time, and then we store it, and then we bring it back out and we fry more. I'm gonna need to take this macaroni and cheese out because I cannot burn my macaroni and cheese. I gotta get it. So golden, it's such a blessing. So that's done. Cover it and put it in a steamer so that it stays hot into temperature. You wanna make sure you protect your people. Protect your neck like Wu-Tang, protect your mac and cheese.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards.
All right, we're going to, let me see if I can get her name. Bon Appetit is the name of her channel. Bon Appetit is the name of her channel.
It is looking like it's done. All the chicken is floating, and it's very quiet. It's like calm. It's like, I'm ready to go. So now we know to take it out. For the people who are a part of the flat tribe, right here. Woo, that's a golden flat right there, baby. You ain't messing with that.
I mean, that chicken does look good, but yeah, no, I agree. The grease needs to be changed. Your grease should look like apple juice and not like coffee.
So I need to fry some more of this chicken because we gotta get these batches out, and then we're gonna get to this cornbread.
Now, the cornbread I want to see, because I make all my cornbread from scratch.
This is the part that makes people so happy. The cornbread I'm serving in here is elite. So like, which one you want? Vanilla, sweet potato, strawberry, blueberry, chocolate chip, Oreo, banana pudding.
What?
You tell me which one you want. And then they're looking at me like all crazy, like, wait, hold on.
What?
Did you just name multiple cornbreads? I'm like, yeah. For me, I don't really like mess with a whole lot of stuff. Cornmeal, sugar, flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt. This is the cornbread mix right here. I do a sweet potato cornbread dessert. Now this sweet potato cornbread dessert is punch your mom in the face.
Ooh,
Delicious.
man, that looked
When I
good.
tell you,
See, interesting thing about it is,
can't nobody beat me doing this. Can't nobody beat me doing this. These are my cooks.
see, okay, the reason why that this is hitting me so hard is because that's the way, you know, if I have yams, that's the way I will eat. I will put the sweet potatoes on top of the cornbread. I'll also put the greens on top if I got greens. I mean, man, she's got a dessert like that.
Potatoes right here. These are already, as some people would say, candied, and then you cannot be scared of how much you put of this in here. What the sauce of the sweet potatoes does is it softens it and makes it very, very moist. So a lot of people may say, oh, I don't like cornbread because it's very gritty. This right here will not do that. When I tell you it's fluffy, literally tastes like cake, it tastes like cake. I do have a sweet tooth. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't decide to make sweet potato cornbread like a dessert because I have a sweet tooth. I made it like a dessert because I don't bake. Because I don't really care about the science of these things. I'm gonna make some strawberry cornbread. It's one of our top sellers. The strawberry used to be my #1 sale.
Strawberry
Sweet potato kinda dwarfed
cornbread.
it and took over. I love to be
Can anybody imagine strawberry cornbread? I don't know. I'm having a hard time.
spontaneous with everything that I'm doing in the
Hey, but I would like to try it because that looked good.
kitchen, because that means that I am being present and living in the moment, and I'm not letting these things kind of like control me. Following a very, I won't say difficult time, but a pivotal time in my life.
Okay, so
When
that
I
looks
was in
like
a coma,
cherries.
When I woke up, it said, chase your legacy and not the luxury. Opening up a restaurant was something I discovered I needed to do, but it was very little money put into us opening up this restaurant. After quitting my job, being a teacher for 10.5 years, walking away from all of that, I came into this food business. We took a huge dip for the first 2.5 years and didn't really see any customers. And then people just started to notice us. And then they came from all 5 boroughs, and then it spread very quickly like wildflower all over the world. So I'm gonna slip my strawberry cornbread into the oven, and these are gonna go for as long as I let them go. I kind of do like a whole look-see test, and it takes me roughly about 20 minutes to bake these off right. I don't really have to cook much else because, like I said, this is a slow process. So soul food is all about patience. You got to take the time out to make sure that things are doing what they do and not disturbing it. Real life, it's break time. I'm like a child, I need a nap. And so I'm
going to say this. I'm thinking about cornbread as a dessert. I think I'm going to try some stuff, y'all. I think about the texture, and I kind of like the idea because, you know, it's like making a sandwich with wheat bread. Bread that's like, you know, like cotton candy. I don't like it. I like for my bread to be firm, you know, and I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about doing something with cornbread and a dessert.
my husband being here, sweating to the oldies, doing this fried chicken, and I will be on my phone emailing and answering calls, and I will be doing everything else that makes this whole empire great because I am multitasking, so I need a break. I'm a diva. That's just what I need. It is break time. Change my shoes. Say hi to my grandma. This right here is one of the biggest reasons why I'm doing all of this. Like, I wish my grandmother would have had the opportunity to see all of what I've done. I have a lot of like memorabilia, family pictures, books, albums, things that talk about my history in here. Staten Island is not known for soul food. To have a black-owned business on...
Yeah, that's an idea. Honey and, honey and butter. I can see that. Blueberry cornbread. Interesting.
Staten Island, and then be able to amplify black history, black culture. I tell people that my ancestors came here in 1799. They purchased property in 1828 as the first African Americans to purchase land here. We are a registered stop on what used to be the Underground Railroad, and we are the oldest community inhabited by its original descendants.
I want to let them know.
All right, cutting to the chase.
Stay positive and keep a smile on your face.
Woo! Now that... Wait, y'all, hold on. I gotta back up for that oxtails.
Sit them down. We want to let them know what we
for the oxtails. I gotta back up.
And keep a smile on your face.
See, now that right there, that's worth the gas money right there, boy. That looks good.
All right, so it's 5 o'clock. The customers are getting ready to knock the door down. I'm very happy that you guys came into my house, but now it's time for you to get the hell out. So, mi casa is kind of su casa. Good night.
I want some of that food.
Bye. I love y'all.
I actually like that. I really did like that video. And hey, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to bid you adieu because, hey, talking about food, I got to get to some food. I need to get to some food myself. So listen, fam, I want to say that, I really do appreciate your time. I appreciate the 2 gifts that you've given me, which is your time and your attention. And I pray that the Most High bless you. And I'm going to put my email in the chat room once again so that those of you that want to contact me on this week, I'd be happy for you too. And I'd love to be in contact with you. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. And I want to say that this has been wonderful. We're releasing you to enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. I'm your More, Malkia Uriel. Expect great things. Please keep in mind, do pre-register for the Hebrew Scholar magazine, and we will, Yah willing, we will see you for Yom Revi'i, the 4th day. Peace and blessings to you. I love you all. Blessings upon you. Remember, Israel is no longer cursed. Expect to see the hand of the Most High working for you on this week. Know that you're walking in tune and in harmony with the Most High. You are his obedient child. Expect to see his hand moving on your behalf, and just let the truth reign on the inside of you that the Most High, he cares for me and he's working things out for my good, for my benefit. And so peace and blessings to you, my brothers and sisters. I love you all. I'm glad that you're here. If you have not subscribed, subscribe right now, okay? Subscribe right now, and let's stick together as a family. I've got lots of good things coming up to basically build this community and keep this community together and take it to the next level. And hey, we want more unity before that happens, but hey, we're about to let the cat out the bag. We're going to talk to you about that in the future. But peace and blessings to you. I love you all. And may the Most High bless you and keep you. May He smile upon you. May He keep you from all hurt, harm, and danger. May He only keep you in the secret place of the Most High, where you will be protected. Love you all. Peace and blessings and health to you. In Yah's name and Yah's name alone, we live. And yes, we are blessed. So peace and blessings to you. I love you all. Shabbat Shalom.